Welcome, Internet, to the final PSVG of 2023. It is I, your host, Stat Ninja Dev, joined as always by Donnie Eat the Hype Reese. And boy, does he have some stuff to be hype about tonight. And as always, Delvin Florida Man Cox.
Yeah.
Who was on full display in that GTA trailer.
100%.
Every aspect of it.
Gentlemen!
Yeah, I just read that.
I'm on one tonight. I'm in a good mood. I've got a very nasty pumpkin beer that I'm just gonna drink anyway because I have it. And let's just get this show cracking. We're gonna start with you, Danny. What the hell you been playing?
Ooh, you gonna start with me? I could talk a lot.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get into it.
All right. I'm playing a lot of the Ally. Just more of the same. I've played a game for review. Let's just start there. I was gonna say other things, but it's just the only thing on my mind. So I played a Highland song. I reached out to the amazing, fabulous friends over at Inkle. I said, "Hey, I saw your game in the Nintendo Direct. I would love to try it and talk about it on a podcast." Like, here, absolutely. Here's the Steam code. And nice. So I got it in a couple days early. It's a really short game. I don't know how short it is, but I beat it in 4 hours. I'm not sure other people did it. It wasn't quite 4 hours. It was a little over 3 hours, actually. But bittersweet. I think it's a good game. I've got some issues with it, like some cons that I think ultimately held it back. But I mean, I'll just start with the good and the easiest one to go with is the art style is gorgeous. It is an oil painting in motion. I mean, it looks like you're just moving on top of like an animated, art piece in a museum, and it is fabulous in that aspect. And everything moves, right? It's got that Studio Ghibli kind of look, and especially like the environments are all just kind of like brushed onto the levels. It's really great. Have you seen this game at all?
I was gonna say, what is this game?
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah, it dawned on me. You have no idea what I'm talking about. This was a game that was shown in the Indie Direct. It just released on Switch. It's a console exclusive. It came out on PC as well. It's on Steam. It's called a Highland Song, and it's a platformer. It's a platforming adventure game that is set in in Scotland. It's like a Scottish tale with Scottish voice actors, and it tells like a very like Scottish Highland story. When I first saw it, I thought of Gree. And I think that's a pretty good comp based on like the first impression. It is like that. It's different, obviously. It does its own things. It's not like a clone. But it's a very beautiful, pretty art-styled platforming game. It's a simple platforming game in terms of the mechanics that you can do. You can run, you can jump, you can climb.
You hit the bump and take a dive?
Oh, no. The difference being with this one, what sets this one apart is that there are many layers to the level design. There's lots of layers on top of each other. So they're like hills. They're like hills on top of each other. And as a platformer, you're moving left to right. You can kind of like jump up to the hill above you and like scale vertically. And you can jump down below the lines. So you have like a lot of these intersecting lines that kind of hide things behind them. And you can like use the lines in the environment to move up without it being in 3D. So it's almost like the 2D level has depth. And we've played platformers that do that foreground background trick, but like I've never played one that has like 20 foreground and background things you can jump on. It's usually like 1 or 2 or 3, right? You've got the level, the foreground, the background. Like do that, but like there's 13 of them. You can kind of hop back and forth. You scale to the top of these peaks, the Highlands, and when you get up there, you usually either find something along the way or at the top you find like a little map fragment, like a little drawing of like a land feature that you're supposed to look for, and you can like scan the horizon and try to find it, and then like that's your waypoint to go next. Probably my biggest complaint with the game is I would have preferred like a map, or at least like maybe like some sort of marker system. I spent a lot of my time just not really knowing where to go.
You just gotta break it out old school and just start drawing a map.
So
like Nintendo,
they would give you like a little drawing, like a little sketch, and they'd be like, so this is the peak, and like here's a little indent in the ground, and you're looking for the tree next to that indentation. And then you zoom out
I don't
And
want to
you're
do
like,
that.
okay, there's lots of indentions. And like, it's like, is it here? And it's like, I don't know, maybe. And it's like here. It's like, I don't think so. Is it here? I don't know.
No.
And then
Hot and cold.
if you put the marker on it, she'll tell you, like, I think that's it. Go there. And I did that most of the time. But there were some times. There was one time I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I can't figure it out. There's a weather system, so it rains and there's fog and wind, and when it's rainy and stuff, you can't see. So like the point and click thing doesn't really work all that well. You can't see where to put stuff. It hides things from view. So ultimately, after like maybe a small bout of frustration, I was like, oh, I'll just F it. I'll just run around until I could stumble upon the place. I'll just start at the bottom and trace every path to the top, and I'll eventually stumble across wherever I'm supposed to go. Because I got tired of kind of scanning around trying to find a waypoint.
Mhm.
But it's different in that regards. The wind and the rain play a big deal because when you're out in the elements, you lose health and you lose stamina. There's a stamina mechanic that's not like super gratuitous or like helpful. Like it's limited. There's a limited stamina
Can
thing.
you build upon your stamina, or this is it?
No, it
This
just
is what
kind of
you
is
got?
what it is.
Ugh.
Which like I don't hate it at face value, but what it ultimately does is you'll get into like a rhythm of like running and jumping around, and then it's like you need to stop and catch your breath. And after you do that like 50 times, you're like, I'm tired of stopping. Like I want to run and jump. It's a platformer. I want to run and
Right.
jump around. And yeah, you can't really do that till your heart's content. You get to slide around. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to say before I get to like the main appeal. No, I don't think so. That's more or less it. It's got lovely voice acting. It's very Scottish, which I'm a big fan of, which is kind of honestly bittersweet as well, because when you get the voice acting, you're like, this is great. Keep doing this. But there's a lot of reading in between those voice acting segments where you're like
Oh, okay.
reading thoughts and clicking through, and it's like, why didn't you just voice all of this too? You know,
Yeah, that would make sense.
this would have been better if you just voiced it all. So there's not any of that. The best thing about it is there are these moments. There's not enough of them, but there are these moments when you kind of complete a hill where you get a rhythm section where you have to like run and jump and clear platforms that are in time with the music that's happening. You have to hit certain buttons, like a quick time event, kind of like a harmonics game. And that's where the game shines. It plays like this Scottish folk music, and you run and jump to the rhythm of the beat, and it's great. It's like Bit Trip Runner, kind of. And there's like I think there's like one or two like on every hillside. So like you'll do it, 8, 10 times, 12, something like that. You'll do it. Could have used more of it though. Like after, because there's a lot of times I was just walking around. Oh, I forget what else I was gonna say. There are caves and like hidden paths. Like you'll get to a segment, and then when you get there, it'll tell you like, hey, do you want to walk to the mountain behind this mountain? And you're like, yeah, and then you traverse to the next mountain, or you'll find a cave and you can go through the cave and come out on the other side. But you got to like find them or stumble across them. That's a big part of like the map segments. But again, it's almost like for every good thing, there's like a negative side to it. Oftentimes you don't know, or I didn't know, maybe I'm just dumb. I didn't know if the map segment that I found was just guiding me to a cave to explore or guiding me to like the path forward. There were multiple times I got to a cave only to like just check out a cave. And like maybe I found something in the cave that maybe helped me later, like an item or something, but like it wasn't necessarily on the path forward. So when you're trying to figure out where to go next, like there were multiple times where I was just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. Like I don't
Yeah,
know
that's not fun.
what direction am I supposed to go in? Left, right, up, down? Like I don't know where to go. And like I got a map and it was like, go here and find this cave. And I went and found the cave and there was nothing in it. And it was just like, well,
Here's a cave.
that was 20 minutes
Yeah.
wasted. Why did I come here? So it's bittersweet. I think it's a good game. It's an okay game. I mean, we were given the code, so I'll give it like the official review. I'd give it 3 out of 5 stars. It's
Okay.
nothing that I would say to go out of your way. It's not Gree. It doesn't reach those heights. Even the ending and the cutscenes, it doesn't have that like emotional high that memorable moment connection that I think of when I think of games that have like that art story, storytelling platformer.
Mhm.
I think of like a Journey or it doesn't quite reach that height ever. And I think that's ultimately maybe its biggest flaw. Is like it's good and it's enjoyable and it's not that long. But it's I don't necessarily think it's going to be all that memorable. I don't think a year
Gotcha.
from now I'll be thinking about it anymore. So,
Okay.
One and
again,
done.
not bad, but yeah, one and done. And I almost feel bad saying that, but that's the majority of video games.
Nothing wrong with
You
that.
know? There's
So,
nothing wrong
why
with
you
that.
don't feel bad? It is what it is. You played it. You enjoyed your time with it. Now it's time to move on.
Yep. So I did that, and I'm still playing Turok, and I'm still playing Dead Island. But what I've been playing most of all the last couple weeks is San Andreas.
Okay.
Oh shit! Here we go again.
Here we go again. I never played this game. We talked about it on the show however many podcasts ago. Don't you remember?
What?
I told you this.
No.
I told you I never played
played
this game, and your response was, "It's the black one." And I was like,
That
"Well,
sounds
that's
about
not
right.
why I didn't play it."
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
we had a Negro moment earlier today.
so,
Yeah. That is true.
so it didn't dawn on me, but I was thinking about that. I was like, I did never play this, and I talked about it on Sweet Hangs a little bit. So if anybody listens to Sweet Hangs, I forgive me for regurgitating the same story. But essentially, I was like, I love this franchise. It's one of my favorite games to play. And I just never played this one. And I knew there was like a reason why. Like I just didn't know why, but I remember like there's a reason
Black
why
people.
I didn't that's not it. Jesus Christ. So
It's my least favorite if it makes you feel any better. It's my least
okay.
favorite.
Well, hang on. Let me get there. So the time this game came out, it was PS2 exclusive, right? Like on release?
Weren't they all?
I don't remember.
No, I think one of them. I think San Andreas was one that came on Xbox too.
No,
But
I
it
don't
might have
think
been.
so.
I don't think any of them came to
No,
Xbox. I think all three of them.
GTA 4 was exclusive to 360 out the gate. And I think GTA San Andreas was exclusive PS2 out the gate.
Okay,
I'm
that
pretty
might-
Out the
sure both
gate.
GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas,
think
I
you're
feel
right.
like we're
I think
all
you're right.
PS2
Yeah,
games.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. So I didn't have PS2 at that time. So that's number one. But I kept thinking to myself, why didn't I get it when I was on 360? Like, why didn't it come up? And I mean, obviously at the time, I was in high school. We've talked about it before. I was probably playing like the least amount of games then. Like towards the end of my high school years, until I kind of got settled at work, didn't really catch a whole lot of games in that time frame. But then I started playing the game, and I instantly remembered, like maybe 15 minutes in, because I've played this game a few times, and I've never gotten more than like maybe 20 minutes in. This is the RPG Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
And I
Mhm.
completely
Yep.
forgot. Like that's why I didn't play it back in the day. I remember reading a review or a video or something back in the day where people were like, "You got to eat food and you got to work out," and I was like, "Oh, this sucks." Like I it was like everything I didn't want to hear about my favorite Grand Theft Auto game, like what was happening to it. But I am playing it now. I have gotten through the turn. Not that I should even care about spoiling this game, but like there's a
No, you should.
I felt like it's very obviously like what happens, but
Yes.
just in case nobody else did, I won't say it. And I'm kind of in the countryside in the outlands now. I don't know
Mhm.
how much longer I'm gonna play it because I'm not all that enamored with it. It has an
Yeah.
excellent soundtrack. Maybe my
The
favorite thing about
soundtrack
the
is
game.
incredible. It's
I'm
incredible.
listening to the funk station that I've put on my damn YouTube music library because it's incredible.
Yes.
But outside of that, the mission structure, and this is what I was thinking about over the week. It's not all that different. I think, like, if I was to analytically go and compare, the mission structure is maybe not that different than Vice City's. But for
It's
whatever
not.
reason, when I'm playing Vice City, I'm just more invested and more into it. I think it's like the Donnie Brasco, like Goodfellas mafia movie Ray Liotta thing with the drugs and the 80s and all that. It just makes me want to do it more versus like this gang warfare turf fights where I got to change all the blocks on the map and turn all the colors. It's just a little bit tedious, and it's a lot of delivery missions. It's a lot of like, we
Yeah.
need guns. Let's go rob this train. We
It's not
need
fun.
guns. Let's go to the warehouse. We need guns. Let's go take this truck. It's like, do we have enough guns? Like, I've done an 18 guns mission. How many
Gotta
guns
have
do
enough
we
guns.
need? What are y'all
More.
doing with
You know-
all these
you know
damn
the
guns?
You know the guns.
What are they? They don't expire. What happened to them all?
Gotta
But I
give them
do-
new recruits. Gotta
I'm
recruit
actually
more.
really glad that I played it, because I think the best thing about it is I have maybe a slightly new, even though it's definitely people are like, no shit, Donnie, you're 10 years late on this. I may have a slightly new appreciation for Los Santos in GTA 5 that I never had, because I am driving around and I am seeing things. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that, and I remember this, and
Mhm.
I don't know this to be certain, but like, I mean, it's fairly certain. CJ's voice actor is same as Franklin's, right? It's the same voice.
I don't
It's gotta
think
be
so.
right.
I don't
No?
think so.
Oh,
No, it's a
I thought I had that one down.
No,
No.
I think
Because like I
Different actor
started playing
altogether.
and I was like, this is the same guy. He sounds the
Mm-mm.
same. I'm hearing Franklin. Now
Nope.
you're gonna hit me with some black people sound the same shit.
yeah, exactly.
How dare you?
I mean,
Anyway.
Delvin, Devin, it's like the same shit, right?
It's the
Yeah.
same. And I also didn't. I mean, I didn't understand how many popular voice actors are on the cast.
Yeah.
Like there's a
There's
lot.
a lot
Yeah.
of them.
So, and I think in that regards, because of the voice, because of the music, because of the setting, I kind of wish the story was better. The story just isn't all that compelling, like the
It's
bigger
not.
plot. And I think that's my biggest, that and the RPG stuff. I don't like that. And I don't like the gang warfare. I thought I would. When I first got into it, and it was like, you can set the gang and then you can take over the turf. In my head, I went to the Godfather. And I was like, oh shit, can I take
Not at
over?
all.
I was like, can I take over businesses and like run
Not
this
even
town?
a little bit.
And it's you just fight each other. I was like, oh,
Godfather
it
was
sucks.
awesome.
This isn't the mafia. We're not extracting, protection. No, we're just killing each other on our own little blocks.
For the park.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the park.
That's really all it is.
Oh, and they're like, hey,
And-
do you want to do home invasions? I was like, no,
No,
not
I don't.
really.
Easy
That's
E. I don't want to do.
like, I'm all about being a villain,
home
but that's
invasions.
too far. That's like,
Nah.
it's like, hey, do you
Robin.
want to become a serial killer? It's like, not really.
Robin season.
Not
It's
particularly.
Robin season.
But yeah, it's I actually would probably say it's probably my least favorite as well.
Yeah. This is one that I didn't finish. I didn't even finish it. Like the game is also just way too big. Because once you leave Los Santos and you go to San Fierro and
Yeah.
then you go to whatever the Vegas requirement, like it's just you lose like the whole reason for why the game even started. Like you just end up doing just so much extra like tedious feeling shit. I got to the point where
That's how I'm feeling.
I get to Las Vegas and I get the jetpack
I
and
didn't
then
got there
I'm
yet.
just bored. I'm
Yeah.
just bored and done. Like I never finished it. So I have no idea how that game is because you eventually end up going back to Los Santos and dealing with whatever happens there. But I just never got that far because it's just the tedium and all the RPG stuff, the having to make sure you eat, to have them work out or you lose your strength, to having to run to make sure you
CJ's
stand. It's just
name.
too much.
Carl, is it Johnson?
Yeah, Carl Johnson. Yeah, he was
I'm gonna
voiced
look-
by some dude named Christopher Bellard. It is not the voice actor of Franklin.
Damn,
The voice actor
wrong.
Franklin's like a young guy.
they sound so close to me. Like in my head, I was like, this sounds so spot on. But my bad. I tried. So anyway,
I feel like San Andreas is a time and place game.
Mhm.
I like it. I loved it, but at the same time, it was kind of like it feels like they just made that game big to make it big instead of that like they have a point to it. Like the game could have been cut down a lot smaller than what it is, and it's a game definitely of its time. Like or made around the time like a Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood,
Mhm.
and it has a little bit of that feel in it. But it almost now when you play it feels like a parody of those movies, and it
I mean,
doesn't
it
come
was
off as well.
even
But-
then.
But like in a
Always.
bad way, like in a really like it doesn't it doesn't hold up like those movies. Those movies kind of hold up. That game does not hold up at all.
Yeah,
It
just
almost
yeah.
seems silly. When you play,
yeah,
it,
I mean, it's definitely a caricature. It's a stereotype
yeah.
for sure, which they all are. Like that's kind of what they all do. But this one feels like a lot of that. It like it really reaches into the
A
stereotype
little
really
offensive.
hard.
It does.
Yeah, it's like they watched Friday one weekend and they're like, we're gonna make a game.
Yeah, it's
You
not
They
know,
like
watched Friday. They saw Easy E and was like, "Oh, we can
Yeah.
do that."
yeah.
It is a little bit like that. But
It's like
I wouldn't hold that against it because it is very like 90s.
Yes,
You
it
know,
is.
it is
Mhm.
very like in that way. So like it, doesn't bother me. I looked up the actor apparently that played Franklin. I don't follow many voice actors. Sean Fontano.
That sounds
So
about right. Yeah.
there you go. He is a voice actor, or he's credited in
Mhm.
San Andreas for something. I don't know. It doesn't say here.
Yeah, wasn't CJ.
Yeah. No, I'm not. Yeah, I saw that. I looked up CJ. But yeah. So I've been playing that on the Ally, which does run really well. My Ally runs it better than my whole damn PC does, which is
It's
still
just
shocking
absurd.
to me. Yeah, it makes no sense, but it does. It runs
Huh.
at almost 60. It dips maybe into like the 55 range, but it is basically smooth and fluid the whole time,
Man,
which is
it's
nice.
just absurd.
And I played a new Sonic game.
We don't talk about that here.
On the little thingy here,
We
but
don't.
I'll save it.
Yeah.
We have a question from
There you
D-Life,
go.
and I'll save it. Save it till then.
You can save it till next year.
No, we're not. We're gonna talk about it.
We can now.
We can talk about it now.
What
I've
do you
only
mean
played
we?
the first. Look, I've only played the first couple levels. It is really good though. If this game was on Switch, I think people would be really happy.
If
It
that
is
game
like
was anywhere else, people would be happy.
it's like a 3D world-esque Sonic game, kinda. I'm not gonna
Okay.
go. I'm not the Sonic fan. I can't tell you where it sits in the pantheon of Sonic game. I don't know. I'm not that into Sonic, and particularly, you guys know this. Never thought they were all that great. This is one of the better Sonic games I've ever played. I can tell you that. I like Frontiers better though. I mean, I thought Frontiers was a lot more fun, but you know that may just be a personal thing because I generally like open world games and stuff.
Did you play Superstars?
Yeah. No, not Superstars. Sorry, no. I
That's
was
the one that
thanking
just
Colors,
came out,
whatever.
right?
Superstars is the new one. Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't played
Superstore
that one
just
yet.
came out.
That's
I've
a
played
2D
that
one.
one. Yes, it's okay.
Yeah, that's what everybody
Sonic.
said. Just like it's all right. Not like
Yeah.
Sonic Mania good. So people love that shit.
Sonic Mania is cool. Super Sonic. What's the other one that I got my son? Something Plus is good.
Let's add this to the list.
Origins Plus, something like that.
Yeah, Sonic Origins Plus is actually really nice. Like that one is a really nice like remaster of all the old Sonic games. So I enjoyed playing that one with my son. But All Stars, like it's built as a multiplayer game, but there's no way in hell you can really play that game as multiplayer because it's just too damn fast. As soon as somebody gets off screen, like everybody else gets left behind and they get turned into bubbles and brought forward.
Yeah, they just
you
snap
can't
up.
play it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
that's not
can't
fun.
play that multiplayer unless they allow it to actually do a split screen thing, which they don't. This ain't no multiplayer game.
That's probably my biggest blind spot in gaming is multiplayer aspects. I don't do them and I don't care about them, so it never really factors into.
Yeah.
I typically don't
value
either,
things.
but my damn son wants to play Sonic with me. I'm like, all right, let's go. And I'm like, this is awful. This is not a good multiplayer game.
Dev's sitting there. He's
Any
like, I
way,
hate
shape,
my
or
life.
form.
I hate my life and I hate this.
It's like, I can't stand it. Just let me know when you get to the boss where the screen doesn't shift and I don't get left behind and we can just beat the boss. Just until
That's
just,
what you're there
just,
for.
Just get us there. Basically.
That makes some sense. So yeah, man, that's what I've been doing when I haven't been working, and I've just been working a lot. I was on the road most of the day today and yesterday, and I will be tomorrow. So looking forward to the weekend.
Like Rihanna. Work.
Yeah, it's been end of the year, man. It's been everywhere.
Yeah.
But
Mine's been pretty much the same. Lots of work. MDCs, like the police machines, they all fucked up and went down last night. So that was a fun
Really?
time.
What happened?
My security team decided they pushed out an antivirus program that didn't have all of the exceptions that it needed to allow our two-factor authentication defender to actually work. And we didn't realize that they had pushed that out until today. So all day yesterday, we're trying to figure out what's going on. Is it Defender? Do we need a new version of Defender?
What was the appliance?
What's happening?
The Silence?
No. It was
security
literally
appliance. What was the security appliance? What's it called?
It's called Sentinel One.
Sentinel. Yeah, I know that one.
Sentinel One. Yeah, it's just that was.
Are your folks being stuck in a loop?
Yeah, you
They're
try to
trying to
log
get
in,
in,
and
couldn't
it
get-
just
yeah.
immediately takes them right back to the login. We're just like,
We've had
what
similar
is going
issues with
on?
cameras and stuff. We try to get into our
Yeah.
camera stuff with Fuses and whatnot. It happened. Yeah. Been
Yeah,
there.
so that was just a pain because we were troubleshooting it from 11:30 a.m. yesterday. All
I
through
get
the
to play
end
as
of the
different
day,
characters.
couldn't figure
You
it
know
out.
what I did? I played as was it
So-
Girl Sonic and Red
Girl
Sonic.
Sonic?
I don't know what their names are.
You mean Amy?
Annie,
Knuckles,
something like
Amy, Tails,
that.
Rose. There's a bunch of them.
A new Tails.
Rogue the Bat. Yeah.
What?
Rogue the Bat.
That's the one everybody wants to fuck.
What?
God.
Yes.
God.
Why?
That is 100%
Why?
a thing. The big titty
Is
Sonic
it
Bat.
though?
Yeah.
Is
That's
it
the
though?
impression you could have kept to
Is that a
yourself.
thing, or is that like
That is
a
a
you
thi-
thing that you just accidentally
No, that is
admitted?
100% a thing.
Oof.
Jesus Christ.
Get it together, gamers.
People love
Yeah.
Sonic. I don't know why. Awful character.
He's
They don't buy enough of the games, apparently.
No, they don't
They
love that
must
much.
because they keep selling up. They keep making them, so somebody's buying.
They're
these things.
selling. They're selling, but they're not like selling.
You're getting a little
Come on,
carried
like,
away
it's
now.
perspective.
Buy the games? Nah.
They're selling enough to keep making them. There are so many Sonic games.
Sonic
It's
Lost World,
ridiculous.
Sonic Olympics.
Sonic All Stars,
Yeah.
Sonic
There's some
Superstars,
really bad
Sonic
Sonic
Colors,
games.
Sonic Frontiers,
I liked Colors.
Sonic Origins,
What, like
Sonic
three,
Origins
like
Plus,
4 Sonic,
Sonic
games
Mania.
this year.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's just like the new Lego. They just farm. They just get another one.
Yeah, let's just make Sonic. I'm out there.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
probably procedural at this point. It's like the basic levels. All right, like loops. We got jumps. We got piranhas, and like they just randomize. Level 1, randomize. Level 2.
Yeah. Let's just throw all the characters in there. We'll be good to go.
All of
Make
them,
it
just all of
fast. Fine.
I'll tell you the
Blue
new
Sonic,
one,
Black
Dream
Sonic.
Team. It doesn't feel that way at all. It's got a lot of like paths and pipes and it's only like a Tony Hawk game. Like it's a lot of grinding and zipping around and stuff. And there's a lot of verticality to each level. And there's like hidden things in each level. And it's like Mario 64. Like you can play each level over and over because they all have like different clear zones, different conditions that you can do. So like you play the level and you go back to go find the other thing. You go back to find the next thing. Go back to collect the other things. So it is pretty fun for a mobile game that I got for free. You can't be hating on it. Like it's
I'm gonna
pretty
hate on
good.
it.
It's probably
I'm gonna hate
better
on
than
it 'cause it's
Superstars.
Apple
Based on-
devices trash.
It's gonna
outta
come to other things. Apple just paid them first.
Yeah, until it
It'll
comes
show
to other
up on
things, it doesn't even
Switch.
exist. Until
show
it
up on
comes to Switch
Switch.
and other stuff, it doesn't even exist. It's
But
not
it
even real.
does. It does.
not
It
even
is. It is. We
not
played it
real.
with
Nobody
my
knows
own
about it.
hands.
You and Daniel are the only ones who know it exists. So therefore it doesn't exist. It's not real.
Okay.
It's not real. But yeah, so I've been dealing with the same just crazy work stuff. It's been a pain in the ass. And outside of that, I've been playing nothing but Cyberpunk. I just want to
Nice.
live there. It's so much fun. Just the new patch came out yesterday, and I dove right into that. And I've been doing my romance stuff with Judy. I love me some Judy. It's been great. And I'm just clearing out all the side stuff. I'm at the final mission. I'm like, I don't want this to end yet. So I'm going to clear out all the side stuff and see all the rest of the story and just exist in this world a little bit more because there's nothing else that I really want to play at this point.
Dope.
So I'm just playing the hell out of Cyberpunk. It's been fucking great. This is one of the few games that I think I may actually play through again because there's just so many different storylines and outcomes. Like reading through Phantom Liberty, like seeing all the different like variations, I'm just like, oh, I really want to play this a different way. And just
That's what
even
I'm
the way
doing.
you play the game, like as a net runner or as a solo or as some kind of weird hybrid. Like there's just so many ways to play the game and experience it that it's just
That's what I'm doing on my
fantastic.
second playthrough. I literally made every opposite decision and played a completely different play style. Go completely different gender, different play style, different character, different start. It's crazy. And it felt, honestly, for as much as the story beats remain the same, it feels like I was playing a new game.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's insane. It's insane. This game is it's fantastic. I think I'm 98 hours total so far. It's fucking
Mhm.
ridiculous.
The first time I played it was like Far Cry.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm playing with all these damn blades and shit. Like, kind of sounds more like a Deus Ex game on the second playthrough. It's like a different game.
Yeah.
Before I was just like throwing grenades and shotgun and boomsticking people and it's like taking names, kicking people in the face and shit. And not any of that at all. Deflecting bullets with my katanas and shit.
Yeah. I'm just like Sniper Central, net run, just get you, snipe you with the hand cannon from all the way across the map. And then I see the San Devastator and I'm like, oh, that could be so much fun. Just teleporting all over it, shoot you, throw a grenade here, throw a grenade there, and then just watch it all
Walk out as it all blows
break
up.
loose. Yeah. Just
I thought I was gonna switch And then I eventually upgraded my katanas where I actually started lopping off limbs and stuff, and then it got really fun, man. You got a guy who's got one arm or like one gun, and you chop his arm off, and he's just like, "Oh, you got nothing. You're in a world of hurt, sir." And it's like really dumb looking too, because like they'll come up and then the whole arm just lops off, just like ragdolls off to the ground.
It's the best. I like doing that kind of stuff, like when you can use a netrunner skills and blow up stuff, and you just see limbs go flying. It's great. It's fucking great. This game is stupid good. But yeah, that's all I've been up to. Nice. What about you, Florida man? What the hell you been dealing with?
I've had a comically bad week.
Did you fight some alligators?
Fun.
Did you twerk on top of a car?
I wish. All of the above at this point.
Did you fight some hillbillies in a mud pit?
I'd have been fine with that too. let me tell you how my week started off. I guess I can start off after the episode ended. So, Black Friday passed. I had a bunch of packages coming in. I get this message from Amazon, I think it's Thursday morning. They were like, "Hey, we can't deliver your package." I'm like, "Fuck you mean you can't deliver your package? My package is your job." Like,
one job.
Yeah, like how can you not deliver a package?
I'm a Prime member.
Yeah. and this is the funny thing about it. Like, UPS delivered your package at AutoZone. Like, what?
That sentence is like some Florida sounding shit. Like Amazon's like, we dropped your package off at AutoZone.
like, I'm like, don't tell them to go get it. Like, no, you have to go get it. Well, that defeats the purpose of having a package delivered to me.
Tell them to give you your Prime money back. I want my subscription
exactly.
back.
I'd like a refund.
Oh yeah, I was yelling about that too. But so I'm like, oh, they already dropped it off, and the UPS, you have to contact UPS. And UPS like, fuck off, you ain't pay us. Like, we're not gonna go back and get that. Like, your package is at AutoZone. Go there and get it. So I'm like, oh god.
Is this a thing? People can just leave stuff at AutoZone?
I am flabbergasted that this happened.
They just hold packages for people? Is it like a post office back there?
Is it like an authorized Amazon drop
That's what I was wondering.
I think it is.
Because in my head, I witnessed like this Amazon guy walk in the door and give AutoZone guy a box. He's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
Right.
That's what it, see, I'll get to that. That's what it felt like, because when I went there to go get it, the guy was like, huh? And he went back there and he grabbed the package. It was like under a bunch of like random parts for a car. Like, he go, like, the fuck is this? It was just sitting there. Yes. It was just in AutoZone.
What kind of nonsense?
Did they open it?
Wow.
No, he didn't open it. It was just there.
So I think they'd have been like, we thought it was brakes.
That's what I thought. He probably thought it was like a tool or something like that. Like, no, it's a fucking video game.
What kind of
Elvin's like, if you don't give me my damn Avatar game right now, I've just had to drive all the way to AutoZone. I am super pissed.
Absolutely not. And then to fast forward, there's more stuff happening, but to fast forward today to even top this story even more. I get a message on Amazon today saying that you have to go on the desktop version of the site to verify something. Like, what the fuck does that mean? I can't look at the app. Like, no. And if you look at the app, it says, no, you must go on the desktop site to verify something. So I have to go to my computer, go on the desktop site.
I must have killed him.
And it says,
it's got to turn on the actual computer.
Like, hey.
Was it your Steam Deck?
No, this is the thing.
Steam Deck?
This is the thing. This is the thing that makes it funnier. I go on the site, and it's just to tell me, hey, your package is going to be very late. So we just need you to press the confirm button.
I've had one of those before, yeah.
Like, why did you make me do this?
You realize there's the desktop mode on the browser on your phone. You didn't have to access.
I didn't want to do that.
Computer.
Because last time I did that, last time I did that, I can unset that shit. I got pissed off. Like, nah.
What? It's just a
really
button.
It's literally a checkbox.
Settings,
you just check
view
the
desktop
box.
mode.
Settings, desktop mode.
And then settings turn desktop
no desktop
off.
mode.
Nah. I would just come.
Wow.
Absolutely not. But
it doesn't even cussing in his office. Now I got to log into the whole computer.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
Exactly. And Why they just couldn't tell me that? Or why they just couldn't like, hey, any other time, like the package is late. They made me have to go confirm this shit.
So I know why. Here's why. Because when it gets beyond late, they're essentially checking to see if you want to cancel. That's all they're doing. They're like, hey,
it was
it's going to be like
late.
3 weeks late. Do you still want to keep it? Or like, do you want to cancel it, buy it somewhere else, and we don't have to finish delivering this now?
It was already beyond late, these fuckers.
Yeah.
I wish that was
sometimes.
the end of my woes for the week.
But wait, there's more.
There's more.
Wait, there's more.
I'm trying to think of some other things that happen, but I'll just let's just get to the grand finale. So this is what happens. Every day at my job, I have to go to the bank, right? And usually after I go to the bank, I go get food. And my grandmother loves KFC. So I've been in this KFC so much, the people there know my orders. When they hear my voice, they get it. And this is how you know something is wrong. I get there. They say, oh, we got your order. Don't worry about nothing, right? And so I say, this can't turn out good. I get my thing. I look in the bag. None of the sauces is there because I ordered like chicken tenders and stuff like that for my daughter and stuff like that. None of the sauces are there. I'm like, can you give me? I go back out, get the sauces and stuff like that. I finally go. I check the box and stuff. They had one of the orders in a box that, like, you know how they have certain boxes like for the meals and stuff like that. Like they have specialty boxes, like for like the 2-piece comes in a box. They had an order in the box that it's supposed to come into. So I didn't check the box, but what was in the box wasn't what it was supposed to be.
It's crack.
So I'm like, no, it was just another whole order completely, which is fine. Like, I don't give a fuck about this. So I get back to the office. I go inside to put the stuff down. The mailman comes in at the same time and says, hey, you know there's a lady in your car. I'm like, fuck you mean there's a lady in my car? Like, excuse me? Like, you know her? I'm like, no, the fuck I don't. What are you talking about?
Why does the mailman know which car is yours?
Because it's parked right in front of the I know the mailman, and plus it's parked right in front of the office.
My mailman knows mine. UPS driver knows my car.
Yeah.
So, it's hard not to know my car. It's fucking orange and shit.
So it's hard not to know my car. My car has like a Persona 5 sticker on it and looks like a fucking nerd car. And a Transformer emblem on it.
Driving like damn Dwee wagon.
Yeah.
You got the anime girls in the car, Delvin?
It's not at my house. Our mailboxes are in a location in our little like living area
Center.
where everybody just goes.
Well, because I work in an office, and
for those of us that have property, don't mailboxes.
Yeah. So I go outside, and he points. She's like, "Oh, she's way down there." He points out to me. So now I'm pissed. Like, somebody went in my motherfucking car. And I'm trying to figure out how, because I look at my door. My door is locked, but I'm assuming when I press the lock button on the door, the passenger side didn't lock all the way, so you could still open it for some reason. Like, you know how you press the little lock button? It didn't go down all the way, so she was able to get in the car. So I opened my car. It's a new
one to me.
Because this is the thing. All the doors was locked except that one door.
Interesting.
Yes. So I'm now furious. I get in my car. As I get in my car, what do I find, Dev?
Crack.
Yes! Crack was in my car. So now I'm even more furious.
Nah. No paperwork. Let's just sprinkle some crack on him and let's get out of here.
Let's call it a day.
So now
sprinkle some crack and get out of here.
Because now there's crack in my car. My change is gone.
So she sold you some crack.
Basically.
Yeah, she sold you some crack.
So
this is a mission in GTA 6.
So now I'm just boiling mad. And I said, you know what? Fuck this. Motherfuckers gotta learn not to fuck with me. So I get in my car and I chase after her.
When keeping it real goes wrong, I see the whole episode.
Right?
Fuck that. I don't like people playing in my car.
Goddamn right.
Delvin's off to beat up some old lady.
No.
Why are you beating on crackheads, Delvin?
No.
Yeah, man.
I have to show her the fear of God first. So
she's a crackhead. There's no fear.
Yeah,
That's
no, there's fear.
facts. Didn't you
So-
see Fear Factor, Tyrone? There's no fear.
I don't know if you know this, Joe Rogan, but
So-
I smoke rocks.
So I run her down. I don't run over people. I didn't commit a crime.
Jesus.
Maybe not.
This is dancing around all sorts of bad things. Like
Yes. So I get to her like, what the fuck were you doing in my car? Oh, I was trying to leave you a note. Say, what? I don't fucking know you.
it was like 3rd grade. It's like check yes or no or something.
Like, I was looking for a pin in your car. Like,
Looking for a penny in your
I
car.
say, bitch, if I ever see you near my car again, it's gonna be a motherfucking problem. Because I'm furious now. And then she has the nerve to ask me, Dev, what do you think she asked me?
Give her your crack.
Got some change.
Donnie hit it. Donnie hit it.
Can I have my crack back?
Yeah,
Did
she
you
realized the
find
crack
a-
fell out of her pocket. She wants it back.
Did you find a bag in your car?
Mm-hmm.
Did you sell it to her?
No. I
Should have sold it to her. Why not? It's
Committed,
charged to the
committed another
game.
felony.
Charged to the game.
Jeez.
I was so furious. I told her I don't ever want to see you around my neighborhood again. If you see me if I'm in the same neighborhood as you, you leave the neighborhood. You don't come around here anymore.
Wow.
Delvin's out here pushing weight.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Like, listen, I'm a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Don't come on my street no more.
Yeah.
I was furious.
So what'd you do with the crack?
I flushed that shit down the toilet. I don't want that shit nowhere near me.
Flushed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just added it back to the rest of his stash that he's been selling.
I was wondering how he got all those statues.
Right? Delvin's a
Makes sense now.
snowman.
Dino Brown.
They call me Dope
Transformers
Man,
and shit
Dope
that-
Man.
Oh, I forgot to tell this one little small anecdote. The next day, I ordered McDonald's from DoorDash for the office, right? And this motherfucker comes. And I
the
was
same
so
person?
bad. No,
Right?
That'd be hilarious.
yeah.
Just like,
This
I got your Mickey
motherfucker
D's.
comes into the office with a Happy Meal. Yes, Dev. I ordered for 4 people, and he came in there with a bag with a Happy Meal. I say,
What is
dude,
wrong with Miami?
I say, dude,
What the
this
fuck?
isn't the whole order. This is not my order.
He's like, well,
Do
this
you
is the
know
order
his
you got.
response- Do you know what his
Right.
response was?
Don't worry, be happy.
No. Me
He
don't
comes with
speak
joy?
English.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Fucking shit.
Oh God.
Me don't
But-
speak English.
You shouldn't
left.
have to speak English to just pick up the right order and deliver. You got here. You got here well enough. Oh boy.
Delvin's starting to sound like Michael DeSanta.
Yeah. Yeah. For real. Oh my God.
I was just like, fuck it.
Wow.
Well, Delvin, I'm sorry. I hope Thursday and Friday are better for you
It
because
probably won't be.
you're not having a great week.
Well, Friday should be good. Because Friday, I'm supposed to be going to the special premiere reshowing
Avatar?
of. No, fuck that. Hell no.
TNA?
No. The Last Dragon.
You
know what that
are the last dragon.
Bruce Leroy.
That's right.
And Tay-Max
Gonna get
supposed to be there.
Ty-Max autograph. Look, if Vanity ain't there, who cares?
Yeah, that's a good point. But she's dead, so I don't think she can be there.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
true.
That'll be
That's
very
true.
awkward.
It would be.
We'll her corpse out there.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is
pretty
cool.
It's
That was
great
like a new
movie.
thing you were talking about. I didn't realize this.
No. No,
It
it's
was like
the
a re-release or something.
re-release of The Last Dragon in theaters.
Right.
Tay-Max
Oh,
gonna
okay.
be there
In the
signing
theater.
autographs
Cool.
and stuff, talking to fans and all that.
That is
thing.
cool.
And I'm a huge Last Dragon fan. Bruce Leroy.
Huge.
Yeah.
When
I
you
love
got
Last
that
Dragon.
glow,
I
your
almost
body
bought
knows.
some Converse with Show Enough on them.
Nice.
You should have. You should just dress up as Snow. Yeah, sure enough. Just come
They
on,
didn't have
make
them.
it
They didn't
happen.
have them in my size. They had only had them up to 11, and they were Converse, so they definitely wouldn't have fit 11.
the rest of the outfit. Like we need the shoulder pads. We need everything. You need to go as show enough and call it a day.
That is not a bad idea. I don't have the hair. I
Leroy,
guess I get a wig.
kiss my Converse.
Guess I can get a wig.
Yeah. Look, if Busta Rhymes can do it, you can too.
I agree.
Yeah, don't let it hold you back.
Yeah. All right, enough depressing Florida man stories. Johnny,
don't
let's
say
get
that.
into some
Oh
get
no!
into some fun shit. The fun Florida man stories. Let's get into this GTA 6 news.
It's your boy Joker Gang 305, Raw Sequel Live, Florida Joker, Miami Joker. You might have seen that character on GTA 6. Just dropped the trailer today. You know they got that character with the face tattoos. You know who they got that inspired by? By me. Just look me up. Florida Joker, Miami Joker. You know what I'm talking about. GTA, we at the top.
Yeah. There it is.
Miami Joker.
That's Miami.
Miami's a special place. Special
Yes,
place.
Yes, as we saw in the epic trailer that was. So yeah, let's get into the news. And the only thing that really needs to be talked about this week, it would be GTA 6, which dropped the trailer. Rockstar delivered the long-awaited trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6, albeit a little earlier than expected or than anticipated.
Yeah.
They told us it was going to come out. It was a Tuesday morning, and it leaked, as I said it would. Like I think that was the easiest call in the world. I was like, I don't know when they're going to do it. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I guarantee it leaks. And it definitely did. It leaked ahead of time. So I got a breakdown of the trailer. Let's see here. The trailer played over Tom Petty's Love is a Long Road, which is awesome for a few different reasons. Tom Petty has, well, one, he passed away a couple years ago. So the late, great Tom Petty. He's also given his music to several other Grand Theft Auto games in the past, which is neat. He's also a Florida icon himself, which I think definitely like set the tone for Vice City and kind of the trailer itself and what we saw. Let's see here. We were introduced to two main characters, and it does kind of give weight to the rumors that we've talked about for a long time about this game. So we have a Bonnie and Clyde type of story that's being told between these two characters. The first we were introduced to in the trailer seemed to really stem around Lucia, which would be the first female character that we can play as in the Grand Theft Auto game series. And then her partner in crime, Jason. We didn't learn a whole lot about.
His name is Jason. Like, where did that come from?
Jason.
Just like,
I believe. Actually, at this point, I don't remember. That's what it's being reported as. I thought I heard it in the trailer, but now I don't even know.
No,
I believe
they don't say his name
when
in the trailer
big
at all.
leak happened. The big leak happened. I believe his name was James.
I think it was.
And it may have been embedded in the Rockstar website or the press release. I think maybe actually that came out afterwards. It may not be where they confirmed it, but it's confirmed to be Jason now.
Interesting, because everything I've read, I haven't seen his name anywhere. I'm like, where are we getting Jason? But I didn't go looking through leaks
somewhere.
or anything.
It's somewhere. Because I thought it was James, and then I was like, is it? And then I looked it up, and everybody's saying Jason, so I changed it to Jason.
Jason!
It's set in Vice City. Right, we're going back to Vice City, which is now in the state of Leonida. Any pronunciation?
I don't know.
on it?
What the fuck? Where did they get that name from?
I'll tell you. So Leonida comes from a reference from Ponce de Leon in his first expedition where he discovered Florida, and he called it like the I don't know, like the paradise of flowers or something. Leonida is what it translates to. That's like the state, the Florida's name. So that's where it all comes from. So that's why they called it that.
So, question: does Los Santos? What's the state there? Does it even have a name?
That's a good question. I don't remember.
And same thing with like their version of New York. Does it have a state name? Like, I'm wondering why they decided to make this one have a state name when I feel like the other two don't. There
were a lot of rumors that there are multiple locations in this one, and I'm assuming that may be why.
That's probably why.
Yeah. Vice City still carries its kind of glowing vibe, especially at nighttime, which we saw in the trailer. When the sun goes down, we got a shot of the Miami Strip. It's grown up now. It's not no longer like the 80s, although we still see like some neon lights and stuff come up, but it's definitely more modern. We see the city skyline stretch across the horizon. It's very big. It's much bigger than anything you could ever remember. It's much bigger than GTA 5 and Los Santos. And maybe more importantly than anything, it's extremely dense. Lots of high rises, lots of buildings, lots of hotels. Everything's very vertical, very wide. There's lots of stuff everywhere. I tagged lowriders, tugboats, planes, helicopters, tankers, speedboats, yachts, fan boats, and jet skis, in addition to all the cars and things that we always expect with a GTA game. So we're getting a lot of different traversal elements that come back.
Get some real Florida cars with them ridiculous fucking size wheels. I'm so excited.
And they're called dunks.
Yeah, you're gonna get that.
Dunk riders.
Mini snapshots of the city. We got snapshots of the beaches. We got Florida Keys, like kind of the barrier island type effects. We got the Everglades, the swamplands, and things like that. So the main thing that I took away from just those different shots is like you can see the evolution of like Red Dead Redemption 2's like environment system like applied to this game, especially if its nature shots. You know, we didn't really have much of that at all in GTA 5. So you can definitely tell there's a huge glow up there. The beach and city, especially the beach scenes, are incredibly diverse in people, of race, of shape, of age, and just the sheer amount of them. There's people everywhere.
I think it was a perfect representation of South Florida in general. Like there's South Florida, for those who know, is like a complete melting pot of people, like Spanish, Latino people, Haitian people, Caribbean people, white people, all along the strip, communicating, talking, arguing, going through shit together.
We saw the car scene, and like the parking lot was packed full of people. We saw the club scene where it was like shoulder to shoulder with people. The density is impressive. Now, I think now is a really good time to like just take a break, a pause, and talk about that a little bit. I'm fairly certain most of what we saw were cutscenes. Like it's in-engine stuff, but like
actually
cutscenes.
If you listen to Digital Foundry, they're like, this is all in engine. They did pixel.
No, I believe it's in engine,
everything.
but the cutscenes that are rendered in engine, like GTA 5.
Yeah. So
it wasn't
everything.
I rephrase. It's not evident of actual gameplay. It's not like the person that you have control of the character and this is the gameplay. I think it's just good to point out. It's probably, especially like the environment shots, the down the street, the over the beach and stuff. That's probably like an introduction to the city. Like you're getting these kind of overview shots, and then actually when you take control of the character, start running around. Not gonna be like that.
It might be.
Might be elements of it. I can see this.
Our Wizards. We'll see.
I can see them doing something in the strip club, like the whole thing they show in the strip club. That is a popular thing down here.
I still think even that was
like
likely. That was also a cutscene.
Like even the thing they showed in the strip club, like, oh, that looks like a strip club that's down here. Like I can point that strip club out
for sure.
Like they scouted it.
Yeah, it's in engine, and like the gameplay may look like that, but the sheer amount of objects that you're seeing when you're playing the game may not be that. Yeah. I don't want to give off the impression. I don't want people to look at it and be like, the moment I play the game, it's going to look exactly. I don't think that's
why not?
That's not going to
let them have their expectations. It's okay. This game is 3 years away.
People are going to be mad.
People are going to be mad regardless.
People mad now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we had the report last year from Bloomberg that GTA would be toned down in nature with its satire and its humor. Now, all we got was this trailer, but I took this trailer as like, this game is going to be fucking awesome and hilarious in this aspect.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, if you were going to do a toned down version of anything and you just want to be like, this is what it really is and not have to worry about that, Florida's the perfect place.
It is just Florida.
You're correct.
Yeah, Florida is a satire of America itself.
Yes.
So I wrote down some of the things that I pulled. You feel free to mix in your own if I didn't catch them. But so we got mini shots of like social media influencer life. Everybody's doing it for the gram. Everybody's doing the TikTok. So we're going to make fun of all of that shit, which I think is going to be hilarious. We have people TikToking on the beach. We've got, I believe, Lucia on the pool. There's a lot of debate of whether or not that's her or not. I think it is.
Think that was her.
I think it was her. You need to look up some stuff. There's a lot of people that are doing. This is an argument that's happening because like people are like lining up like moles and freckles and tattoos and stuff, and they're like, "This is her," and people are like, "It's not her. It's a thing." The trailer. I definitely took the trailer's going to have. I mean, the game is going to have a very strong satirical take on modern America, and I cannot wait to see what they do with Florida on politics and all this stuff. We saw body cam from Cops, which is like a whole separate thing in itself. We saw a bunch of Florida Man references, including Florida Joker, which was just included in the bumper.
Everything that they showed was something that actually happened. Like it's not even satire. It's all shit that actually happened.
They'll take on Karening, which we saw. We saw L.A. Susan dual wielding her hammers. If anybody doesn't know about that, this woman dual wielded hammers and beat the shit out of somebody's car a couple years ago.
Yep.
We saw people fighting alligators in the gas station, which is a famous thing. An alligator just walked up into the gas station in real life. We saw an ad on a billboard for Angstapan. It's an antidepressant that quote unquote cures emotions. We saw a dodo pulling a banner, which I think this is perfect for us because we actually have a Florida man on the cast, pulling a banner that says "Why 69 when you can 919." Which, when I saw the banner at first in the trailer, I thought that they were doing some sort of Netflix spoof because the iconography looks like Netflix. I have since learned that this is apparently spoofing a Miami establishment called 11. You familiar with that, Delvin?
That is a club?
It's a nightlife like booking agency that have like a lot of rappers and influencers are a part of. And essentially,
I know what you're talking about.
You can book with them and they will give you the Miami experience. They will get you into the VIP at the clubs and get you the bottle service and the strip clubs. And it's like, it's a whole, I didn't know what this was until this trailer happened. And I started to dive into what this stuff means. It's a whole thing. You can essentially like pay these people 15 grand for the Miami A-lister experience.
Yeah, that's not something you would do down here. Nobody down here from the hood tells you to go do some shit like that.
I don't think it's from that. I think it's more of like a touristy thing. It's from people that are coming to Miami.
A dumb touristy thing to do. Don't do that.
There's a lot of famous people associated with it. They make a lot of money.
Yeah, but it's not worth the money.
We saw lots of twerking. I mean, there's just ass everywhere. Miami. There's just lots of ass.
Miami.
Yeah.
You know.
And I mean, what would a Grand Theft Auto game would be without a strip club? We got to see a strip club. In terms of callbacks, we saw Weasel News. We saw ads for Pisswasser and Lager and Patriot Beer, and the Go Postal Mail Service will still be there. So those are the Easter eggs that I pulled. The trailer ends with 2025 for consoles. No sight of any mention of PC existence in any shape or form. Not on the website, not on the press release, not on Twitter, not in the trailer, anywhere.
Ain't no PC version.
Yeah, there's no PC version. You'd be 2026 at best.
No, 2027
for the
at best. Because the game ain't coming out until 2026.
The trailer has been viewed, or the trailer was viewed by over 60 million people in the first 12 hours. It's now since been viewed over 110 million times. The tweet announcing the trailer had over 2 million likes in the first 4 hours. This has surpassed the total reach of GTA 5's trailer has ever. In 10 years of that trailer existing, it hasn't reached this gone. Hasn't reached what GTA 6's trailer did, and it has since broken the record. It is now the Guinness World Record holder for most watched YouTube video in 24 hours.
Makes sense.
I think it's just that, frankly speaking, GTA right now is the game that we need. May not be the game everybody wants, but it's the game that society kind of needs. We need something to kind of make fun of us and how silly we are at times. Because
by us, you just mean Florida, right?
Like no,
you're saying us. You speak for all.
I'm saying the U.S. in general. Because
we're not drop kicking alligators and shit over here.
Yes, well, this is just Florida. This is not just Americans. This is just Florida.
Just Florida, but Florida is a good representation of.
Is it though? I don't think that's at all.
Of the craziness.
Don't want me into that.
Of the craziness of society today. It's
the craziness of society in Florida.
Nah, in general.
There's no LA man stories. There's no
that's not true.
New York man. No,
yes, they are. They 100% are.
Yeah, that's not true at all. I can find some of those.
You don't look up LA man. You don't look up.
Now, there may not be no LA Joker. I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's
LA Joker is the dude who will kill you.
But the woman with the dual hammers, that is LA Susan. That was her tag. She is an LA woman that beat shit out of the car with some hammers. So that was an LA thing. That was a California thing.
That's some Florida shit.
But Florida. It happened in LA.
All Florida, we have different stories. Florida stories are the ones like the guy who turned to a zombie and ate the guy's face off. That's Florida.
Yeah.
That is uniquely Florida.
Yeah.
The Karen thing is uniquely a United States thing now. That's not just Florida.
I mean, I don't think it. I mean, I get your point, and it's well made, but I just generally think that's just the hype level for this game, and I'm not in any bit surprised at all. We've been talking about it for years.
Yeah.
GTA 5 sold over 100 million copies. It's been in the top 5 selling video games for a decade. Like it never fell off. It never fell off. It just kept selling, and they raised the price, then bring it back down. They do GTA Online, and it just kept selling and kept selling and kept selling. So I'm not surprised at all. It just is probably the most popular brand in video gaming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And
How would
this
this
is
affect GTA Online? I'm curious.
it's a monumental announcement. And I mean, we talked a lot about what the content in the trailer had. I mean, the quality of the trailer is next level. I mean, this looks a significant, huge jump for Rockstar. It's a night and day difference from GTA 5, which it should be. It's 10 years later, but like it is a huge leap forward. Even if it's just cutscenes, the cutscenes alone are a huge step forward.
Watch the Digital Foundry breakdown. It's really good. They're like, this is a marvel. Like this is a really good marvel for
which is what we'd expect. Like Rockstar is one of the best. They have made all the money, and they're going to put all the time that they can into it. Like they're not going to rush this out. If they have to delay it, and they probably will, as we pointed out in the Discord, almost every Rockstar game has been delayed. There's like you can Google that real quick and just see a graveyard of delays. So it will likely be delayed because they're not going to rush it out. It's not going to come out broken. That's not what
they don't need to. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't need to do it.
Let them cook.
Yep. So I thought it looked incredible. I saw it when it released. I saw the leak. I didn't drop the leak in our Discord. I didn't want to bother anybody. But I saw the leak, and I was working, and somebody, Yarden, was like, "Hey, did you see it?" And I was like, "Yeah, it looks incredible." Like it nailed everything that I could think it would. And I think it looks funny and humorous, and it doesn't look toned down. It doesn't look like it's gonna be not have like that Rockstar flavor. I think people will call it edgy. I don't think it's edgy. It's just that Rockstarness that they bring to their games. I don't think this game looked like it didn't fit or anything. I didn't think you saw a noticeable tone change.
Not at all.
What Rockstar does.
No, not at all.
Because with Florida, you don't have to change.
That's true. They picked a great setting.
Fits. It literally just fits. If you wanted to be able to get away with doing what Rockstar does with GTA, you put it in Florida, and you don't have to change anything.
Pissing off like, anybody and stuff.
Just Florida. This is what they do there.
And this game is going to be huge, and I'm going to have to, whenever it happens, 2026 or 7 or whenever it releases, I'm going to have to, like, this is a clear the sky. This is maybe possibly take vacation and play GTA for a few days.
Yeah, this is my most anticipated game now.
Yeah, it was before, but definitely now. I mean, this looks incredible.
Interesting.
So
I'm just going to casually forget about it till it gets closer.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We got a question while we were chatting about this. Forgive me, I do not know how to do this username. I don't even want to try. It's something.
Let me see if I can see it. Oh,
here,
GZ Doctor Forever.
Yeah,
there you go. Thank you. It says, how does the panel feel about the rumor that the GTA 6 base game will be $100 and the full package game with online will be $150? I hadn't seen that rumor yet. I don't think that's what they'll do. But if they wanted to do it, I think it would be worth it. I've always thought that I think there are certain games that can elevate above the standard price. I don't think Rockstar is going to do that. I really don't. I'd be surprised. I think they're just going to, because here's the other thing. They don't need to do that. They sold 100 million copies. Like they're just going to release the game at the price. And guess what they're going to do? Sell 100 million more of them. So I don't think that's going to happen.
I usually complain about price increases and stuff like that. But this is one of the few games.
Not with GTA.
Not with GTA. I'm like, all right.
I'll give you
$100. All right. Let's go.
I'd happily pay $100 for GTA 6.
Opposite end of the spectrum. $100 for the base game?
100% I would. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. If they did it, I'd buy 2 copies. If there was a PC release day 1, I'd buy 2 copies for $100 piece.
They're giving you like hundreds of hours of gameplay.
I played GTA 5 literally for years.
Yeah,
I played it on 360 and I played on PS4 and then I got it on Xbox One and then I beat it on PC. I literally played the game for years. So and they never hit me with microtransactions. They never hit me with another thing or a battle pass they literally like, here's just this game. I'd happily pay the $100 for it. I would, but I don't think they will. And I don't think they need to.
Yeah, I agree.
Nope. They'll sell this thing for $70.
And there'll be a special edition for $150.
That'd be great. Oh, I'd love a stupid edition.
There was a stupid edition of 4. I don't know if there was a dumb edition of 5.
I was thinking, I don't remember there being one of 5 either.
Yeah, I got the dumb edition for 4. But I don't know if there was one for 5.
But yeah, so that's it. We've seen GTA 6. Now, I was wondering, I was thinking out loud in the Discord, I was like, this trailer seemed to be very Lucia based, and I was like, maybe there's a Jason one coming. And then Reddit reminded me today that both GTA, I think 3, 4, and 5 went a year between trailers. From the reveal trailer to the next trailer was over a year apart. So we're not going to hear about GTA 6 again for a year, for a while. So, like Dev said, the next trailer out of mind, and don't forget about it.
Forget about it. I hope whatever the next trailer is, it's set at nighttime and it's got Phil Collins. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. All right.
Yep.
No more of this Tom Petty stuff. Let me get Phil
How
Collins.
dare you?
Let me get the Miami Vice vibe. Let's go. All right. That's how you hype me up.
You
give me the Miami Vice
Tom Petty's
vibe.
name like that. I think his song's trending today because of us. And here's the thing: that's a popular Tom Petty song, but it's like more of like a deep cut. That's not like one of his hits either.
I had never heard that song before in my life before that trailer.
That doesn't surprise me a little bit.
Yeah. I'm like, what
I remember
he did. Get him out of here.
He got the Super Bowl like 10 years ago, and I got into a big argument with my father-in-law because he hated him. He was like, "This is stupid. Why are we listening to this in the Super Bowl?" I was like, he's right. Tom Petty, man. Well, he's not right. You're both wrong.
He's right.
How does he feel about Jay-Z and everybody else is there now? Betty's like, I wish Tom Petty goes back.
Where's Pitbull? I need Pitbull in the trailer.
Oh, goodness.
I was going to say that.
How dare you?
Some real Florida.
Pitbull.
Dude, Tom Petty is real Florida.
Look.
Like some real swamp.
The Panhandle. We're looking at Miami and South Beach.
I get it.
That Florida.
Dale!
Mr. 305.
Jesus.
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
No thanks. All right. Anything else on GTA 6?
I can't wait. Looks fantastic.
Oh, you're gonna have to. It's gonna be a while.
Yeah, have no choice.
Just go ahead and
it'll be 2 or 3 years. Probably a best.
I guess all I have to do now is just live.
Another 2-3 Let's hope we can make it till 2026.
I saw somebody. It may have been Jeff. Somebody was like, "This will be the last GTA game I play," and I was like, "Goodness gracious!" Like, I'll live to see the next one. And sadly, like I think I've got at least one more GTA. I think I can get to GT 7, but like I did take a moment to step back, and I was like, "But GT 8 though?"
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
probably not.
We're looking at 20 years from now. Maybe
get a little dicey, guys. Get a little dicey.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Your question about GTA Online, like I do wonder, like, how do they do that? Are they actually going to turn off the servers for what is now GTA Online and create a whole new thing?
I think so.
Do they try to run both at the same time? Like, what's the plan there?
Yeah.
Or do they just say?
They probably could do both, actually. They make enough money to support it.
They probably could.
Yeah.
Or they could be like, we're just going to transition all of you into the new thing. Or add whatever the madness is that's going to be in Florida to the already existing GTA in Los Santos, and your character can just go.
I was going to say that.
See, I don't think you would add. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, one, I'll just say none of us know. I think they're going to want you to buy the new game. So they're not going to add it to the game you already have. They're going to want you to buy the new one.
What I mean is, like, you only get access to that. It's like any other live service game. You don't have access unless you buy the new thing. So you buy the expansion, and now your character can go.
Oh, the character, I believe so. But like the point I was gonna make is a lesser like talked about fact with this is that Rockstar has silently been changing all of their online stuff in the background lately, like the last month. Like they're they're scrubbing all references of the social club and all that stuff, and it looks like they're trying to retool, potentially relaunch like a new online service, probably with Grand Theft Auto 6. And so I would expect based on that they would probably come out with like a new thing, a new GTA Online thing, and try to get people back into it. But it's a good point. They could just try to update it and, keep it going like as one big experience that you have to buy the game for. But then like, what do you do with the people that didn't? Just keep them going on what they have?
They just have the updated version of Los Santos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see them running both until the numbers fall off enough on GTA 5 to cut it off. Because there's no real good argument for not taking that revenue if people are going to keep playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just keep getting that revenue. You know,
Yeah.
like
I would just.
I don't think it doesn't.
personally,
You're
I
not
should just
hurting
update the game
GTA
engine.
6 if people want to keep playing GTA 5 online. You're not hurting GTA 6
No.
online because
Mm-mm.
they're all just playing GT online. Like it's all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. I think the only thing that would be detrimental, literally, is if they had a hard cutoff. GTA 6 releases and they're like, everybody that's played, you're done now. That would be maybe have ramifications.
Yeah.
But if they let it bleed out over time, I don't think anybody cares.
I don't know that it would have ramifications at all. I think it'd be like, well, this is ending. You're coming to GTA 6, and people would just be like, all right, I'm coming to GTA 6.
I think most people would. I think most people would. But you know that somebody's going to write an article about how angry they are that their game got took off and preservation of games and servers. We do this every time any server game.
It's an online game. Suck it up and shut up.
I get it, but you know it's going to happen.
And they can write all those articles and nobody's.
I'm just telling you that's what I was saying. That's what I was meant to say. Is that
I am
somebody
curious.
would be
How many
mad
people are still playing on like previous gen consoles? GTA Online.
Me and Dev were looking at numbers the other day, and I don't
question.
have those numbers. I don't think anybody has those numbers.
That's a good question. Can you even still get to GTA Online on PS3?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Actually, I don't think so. Didn't they shut down 360 access for GTA Online?
I have absolutely no idea. I never even thought about that because that is where the game started.
Did online even come to 360?
It did.
I think it
Online came to PS3.
GTA
and
Online for PS3 and Xbox 360 was shut down.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
So they got moved over to PS4.
December 16th last year.
Oh, so just last year. So yeah.
Just last year.
Hang on.
Wow.
Let me check that. Let me get into the article. December 16th, 2021. 2 years ago.
Okay.
That's
So
still
2
not
years
that long
ago.
Yeah.
Right.
So I do remember, and that when you said that, it fired off my brain. I do remember that being a story that they shut off access for last gen consoles.
Thing. I wonder if they shut off when they shut it off for PS4.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because that's where all the players are. That's where the majority of the players are.
Could PS4 run the updated GTA Online?
Probably, definitely not.
Absolutely not.
No, this game won't. This game won't be available for back compat.
Yeah, it's not going on PS4.
I actually don't think this game will run all that well on the consoles we have. I think this game will come just in time for new consoles.
So that's the other thing. Like watching the Digital Foundry thing, they're like, yeah, it's definitely.
I'm not gonna shout down this, but we got to get off of this. Digital Foundry said it, so it must be real thing.
I'm not saying that they said it was true. I'm just telling you what they were saying.
The whole industry does this. Like it's not, and I'm just making a point. The whole industry does
1440p running that.
Digital Foundry is like, well, we don't, and like Eurogamer and IGN and Garrett and everything like, well, Digital Foundry said. It's like, okay, well, we can't. They're not always right. It doesn't mean anything. But what did they say? Tell me what they said. I haven't watched the video.
We have to like actually.
They are very good. They are technical experts. I'm with you there.
So
I'm with you there.
They're looking at it like it's basically 1440p upscaled. It's using ray tracing,
nice,
really good shadow mapping and things of that nature. And yeah, there's like the hair physics, like everything looks like really good. Like it's once again,
did they
monumentous thing for consoles because there's no PC version.
For just rendering tech, yes, but I still point out is likely cutscenes, not actual gameplay.
Yeah.
So and it's an engine, so it means that like the resources are being tasked to create the cutscenes, but it's scripted. Like it's scripted cutscenes is not actual player moments, and that's an extra taxation. Until we see gameplay, I think it's gonna be really hard to guess what performance could be. But based on the trailer, if we're looking at the trailer and saying that's suggestive of what the gameplay experience will be like, if we're having that much density and stuff, that's very CPU heavy. We've already seen CPU heavy games. It's not going to run at 60. It's just not.
It's going to run at 60. 1080p, 60.
1080p, 60. In 2023.
1440p, but upscaled because that's how we do. That's how we do
30.
No, 1080p upscaled to 1440 at 60. 1440 upscaled to 4K at 30.
At 30. That may be possible. Maybe. I think that's I think that's being hopeful more than
realistic. That's what's going to happen.
Because I mean, again,
you also know, like the longer we get into the life cycle of these consoles, the more they're able to just eke shit out of them. So
no, I don't. But that didn't really. That wasn't the case. That wasn't the case for the PS4 and the Xbox One.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't. That's why we needed pro consoles.
PS4
that's why we needed pro consoles. No, those consoles still weren't running things that great. That whole the developers will learn and code to the metal thing, that was a thing before they adopted PC-like architecture. That was back when they had their own things. You could learn to get things out of it. It's not really the thing anymore.
Ran so much better on at the end of the generation on PS4 than they did.
I'm not suggesting that they didn't run more stable. I'm suggesting that you're acting like the games came out and they were 800p at launch and suddenly ran in 4K at the end. That never happened. It was not the case.
Not 4K, but they ran at 1080p. They came out at
1080p on launch.
No, they didn't. They ran at 900p.
Nope. Xbox games ran at 900p. PlayStation 4 games launched at 1080p at launch.
Xbox was 720.
No,
PS4
you're wrong.
was 900.
You're just wrong. Nope, you're wrong. Because you know why I know this? Because Rise, all the Xbox One launch games got raked over the barrel.
They were trash.
Because at launch, they ran at 900p and PlayStation 4.
Barely
listen to me.
No.
I'm telling you, you're wrong.
No.
They ran at 900p and
I'm
PlayStation ran at 1080. And that was the whole power thing at the launch of the console. Everybody was whining over it. It's kind of funny. And all the thing was
Xbox
the PS4 is more powerful.
Barely, and then
I do remember Rise being 900p. I specifically remember that.
Was it Dead Rising? Like all of their launch games were that, and the PlayStation launch games were 1080p. I know this. I know I'm right on this. This is not even up for debate. I'm correct on this. This is true.
I remember Rise specifically because when it came out, I bought it like, this game looks great.
It's not like the games didn't launch at 720, and then 3 years later they're like, we figured out how to do 1080, guys. Yeah. No, they launched at 1080, and before the Pro came out, guess what? They were still running at 1080.
I'm talking about Battlefield 4, for example, ran at 720p on Xbox, ran at 900p on PS4. I'm talking about third-party games.
Why?
GTA is because that's what we're getting. It's a third-party game. It's not a first-party game.
That's one game. That's not the experience of last gen. That's not indicative of what most of them are doing.
All of third-party games.
It wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't.
That was the third-party experience, not the first-party experience. We always know first-party games are going to run better on the hardware because they're not working it for multiple different iterations of hardware. It's just the one.
I don't want to do this now, but I will go and look up all of the games and give you a full breakdown of resolutions. I feel like that won't be that hard to find. But
I'm sure it won't. I'm not looking that shit up.
Yeah.
You can, because that's what you do.
The thing was, a lot of games ran around 1080 or at 1080, and guess what? 3 years later, they were still usually running at 1080. There was no they figured they got more juice out of the hardware. The juice was the juice because it was PC based, and you can do what it can do. Maybe you could make things run more stable. You'd find some tricks to find, to not have so many fluctuations. But it's capable of what it's capable of. This isn't like the PS3. This isn't a whole new architecture system that you had to learn.
Guaranteed.
Was the point I was making. That's really the ultimate point that I'm making. They're not having to learn new architecture like we did on the 64 versus the PlayStation 1 versus the PlayStation 3. Those days have long gone. We haven't done that in over 10 years. So that's like a trope in video games that we as podcasters and journalists and stuff, we got to stop saying things like that. They'll learn how to make it better in a couple years. No, they won't. It just kind of does what it does, man. Because you know what they're going to do in a couple years? They're going to sell you a better console. That's what they're going to do, and that's what you're going to need to play GT 6.
A better console.
You're going to be playing that shit on some base hardware spec,
and it's going to be great. It's going to run at the 1080p upscale, 40 and 60 frames, and I'm going to be just fine.
I hope you're right. I hope
not
you're right.
Buying a Pro console.
I would love nothing more than to be proven wrong in this.
That's what's going to happen.
And it's possible. Here's the thing. I'm playing it on PC, but based on how I've played on PC, I would imagine that the console version is more of the same. Dead Island is incredible, visually and performant. It runs great. So it's possible for sure, not to the level of fidelity and density that GTA suggested. I think it might be like a on base hardware. It could be a Cyberpunk situation where they show you this trailer, this incredibly vibrant, living night city. And then you boot it up in PS4, and it's a little bit more pedestrian than you thought it was going to be, for performance sake.
The difference between that is that Cyberpunk was actually aimed at PC, where we know Rockstar ain't fucking with PC at all.
That's a fair point. Good point, actually. That's a very good point. You're right. They ain't fucking with PC.
We're not going to have PC. Pulled off of a console, so
we're not going to have PC in forever.
And I don't know why they keep making PC games.
I know why.
I think at some point
I know why.
They'd be able to just be like, all right, we're also going to put it on PC. I know they're trying to get that double dip.
That's it.
I get
it's
that.
just money. It's such an
But
easy why.
still, come on.
No, because it works. I'm going to buy both. I will definitely buy both. I can tell you that today. I will buy an Xbox copy, and then when it does come to PC, I will buy a PC copy. Just like I
Wait
did
for
the
the
definitive
free
edition.
Epic Games version.
Just like I did GTA 5. Like, I am the person. I am the problem. And here's the thing. There's millions of us. I'm not alone. Like, it's not a minority. There's millions
There's two
of us.
you here because both of you are willing to shell out $100 for the base game.
I'd buy two of them. I'd buy two of them.
Yeah, I could not do it.
If they had a PC version day one, I'd buy both day one.
Jesus.
Especially if I could sync saves and could hop from one to the other, that'd be great. Play my TV a little bit, play my Ally a little bit, play my PC some. Sure.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm just not, based on what these consoles have given us in 3 years, I'm not overly optimistic they're going to deliver. I don't think this is going to be the game they're like, this is it, the power. Like, no, it's not. Gotham Knights can't get more than 28 frames out of the damn thing. Like, it's just, no, thanks. Not believing. I'll believe it when I see it. Prove me wrong. Dying Light 2? Absolutely not. There are limits to what hardware can do. There's magic that developers can do, but there are limits.
So many games that actually do run that. Like, everything first party for the most part runs really fucking well. And I don't see any reason why.
Like Horizon?
Horizon, God of War, all of those.
Horizon is an open world that's mostly empty for most of the time. It's not a bustling city with towering geometry as far as the eye can see, and tons of NPCs walk around, and systems and cars, and all of that.
When you get into the cities, I
beat the game. I'm aware it's not the same. These aren't the same thing.
It's not going to be the same as Rockstar, but I have no doubt that Rockstar is going to be able to.
The best comparison you have of a like game doing similar things would be Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk actually looks and runs really.
It's gotten much better, hasn't it? I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you.
I played it on PS5.
I'm being more devil's advocate. I'm not saying you're wrong. Shocked. But how is the PS5 performance of Cyberpunk?
It's really good, dude. I know
it got better. I know it got to like some ray tracing, like at 40 frames, right? That was like the last time I really paid attention to it. I know they have a performance mode. You can play at 60.
Performance mode runs at 60, and it looks
but not with ray tracing,
really
though, right?
Clean. I don't think it has I don't know, because
I don't think it has the ray tracing.
I was actually remote playing it, and it was clean as fuck. I was shocked as shit.
It's been good. No, I
was remote playing it from my office to my PS5 here, and it was like one of the smoothest experiences I've had with remote play. And it still had all the DualSense features. It was clean. I was shocked. I was blown away by how well it played and how well it looked.
The 2.0 update had a 60 FPS mode that was dynamic. And then they had a 4K 30 FPS mode that I presume, it doesn't say, and there's nothing in this article about ray tracing. I presume the 30 FPS is ray tracing. Because ray tracing, I don't think we have very few things that are doing like ray tracing, like global ray tracing lighting at 60. Very few things that we were doing that. Nobody's really doing
also that. Part of the problem with that in the consoles is that it's AMD based. So everything is FSR. It's not DLSS.
So if you turn off the ray tracing and maybe make some sacrifices, maybe you can get to 60 in a GTA future type world. It may be possible.
I don't need ray tracing. I don't even notice it half the time. I'm moving around too fast to even notice ray tracing.
Yeah, I don't
see shadows. Like, I'm running around blowing shit up. Like,
I've been on that bandwagon basically since 2 months after launch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I bought like 4 games that had ray tracing, and I was like, it's nice if you're like taking photos, but outside of that, like, it's not all that important.
For photo mode. Take all of your photos in quality mode, play the game in performance mode, because you're not going to just like running around.
Have it to where every time you activate photo mode, ray tracing just turns on, and then when you turn photo mode off, ray tracing turns off.
That would be great.
Yeah, like, again, I want to be clear. I wasn't saying you're wrong. I was just being more devil's advocate, trying to base off the things that we have. You may be right. And if that's what Digital Foundry is saying, they may be right too. It may be possible. But I definitely don't think if we're looking at the trailer and we're saying that's indicative of what the gameplay would be like.
That's the quality mode. That's the indicative.
We haven't seen anything like that on these consoles at all. That would be a break from what we've seen. But if there's somebody that can do it,
it's Rockstar.
It is Rockstar. You know,
Rockstar.
like if there is somebody that can do it, it would be them. But I'm almost I mean, I would be willing to bet you right now a copy of GTA 6 that we have pro consoles by the time it releases. I'm almost positive. If
I
like
don't
they
make that
don't
type of
even
call.
pair their pro console with the damn game. Like if they don't like, hey, we want to launch our new console with GTA 6. Like I could see that even being a part of it.
If I can't control part of the bet, I don't make it. So I'm not making no bets. That's not how I
Oh.
get down.
Well, that's how bets work.
I'm not a betting man.
That's
No,
not a bet.
I only bet
If
on
you can
myself.
control the bet, then it's not a
You-
bet.
Yeah, you just that's not how betting
Meaning-
works. That's the whole point of
Meaning
bets.
I only bet on myself. If I can
I got
be
you.
somehow integrated, otherwise I ain't betting. Fuck that.
I got you.
No, thank you, friend.
Yeah. What are the yeah, I'm thinking we have so many games that like crush not just consoles. We have games that just crush 3080s at this point. You know.
Everything.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember what was that? Oh, Alan Wake. Mike, I cannot keep up with Alan Wake 2, man. It crumbles. And it ain't doing half of the shit that trailer suggests GTA 6 is gonna do. Like,
Yeah.
no, yeah, I'm just going back to putting my foot down. I won't believe it. There's no way.
Yeah,
If we get this on GTA, it'd be like
the 3080 at 4K can't do it. 1440p, it's fine. 40 like the 3080 is a 1440p.
Alan Wake
graphics
2 is not fine at 1440 if you are demanding a rock solid 60. And if you think you have ray tracing turned on, forget about it. For ray tracing takes like half the hit on the entire game. You lose 25 frames just turning ray tracing on.
Oh, you're going to lose frames. Yeah, ray tracing is going to cripple things, but I don't
But even
know
with
if
it off,
has-
you remember I told you I turned it off and I was playing at 1600 and I played at 1440, still struggled. I mean, frame
Does it
rates
have
dipping into the 30s, the
DLSS
40s.
3.5 with ray reconstruction or no? Do you know?
I think it does. I can't deploy it, but I do think it supports it.
Well, you can deploy ray tracing. You can deploy ray reconstruction 3.5. That is for everything.
I remember it has the ray tracing reconstruction, but I thought it was
Mhm.
grayed out for me.
You may have to turn ray tracing on to turn that part on, but that works on 30 series cards.
Okay. I definitely played around with ray tracing, but once I saw the hit, I just turned it off and never tried it again. But even at lower resolutions, playing that game in the lock 60 is difficult on my PC setup, which our PCs significantly outclass the consoles. That's why I bought it. And like I can't imagine that our base consoles that we've had for the years now are going to run that game at 60. If it looked like old GTA, if it looked like GTA 5, I might believe you. But this looks like a significant, jump up in fidelity that we haven't seen.
If I
Even
thought
from
it was
Red Dead
running at
Redemption 2.
4K, then sure, but I know it's not going to be running at 4K. That's the other thing.
Yeah. And maybe some checkerboarding or some upscaling, maybe some FSR tricks or something. Maybe
It's
that'll
running
help.
FSR.
Maybe that'll help. Maybe that'll help. That's possible. Anyway, we talked about this a long time.
GTA 6. That's what
It is. Yeah, I mean, it is the
GTA.
news. It is the news. We have other news, but it's not news. This is the news.
Yes.
Any other things? Anybody else want to say?
Nothing.
Delvin?
What's up,
We
Tim?
did it. We cover it. Delvin, you got anything to say? We've been talking the whole time. You just been sitting here.
I've said enough in the beginning section of it. Then y'all start talking about DSLR and OPP. Like, all right.
You don't know PP. Yeah,
Once
you
start
know
getting
me.
technical, they're like,
Like, did you see the teraflops, Dev? Like, all right. This is what I check out.
Listen, I'm telling you, we don't have enough teraflops. We're gonna need more teraflops. Okay, and we
All
need
the
the RAM expansion pack for the
all
PS5
the
and
Ks,
Xbox
all the
Series X. Okay,
Ps.
we need the RAM expansion pack. Let's just get a port and let's plug in some RAM and let's go. Last of Us 2 Remastered got a trailer for its no return roguelike survival mode. That WL edition of the game is on pre-order. It went on pre-order 2 days ago. I have no idea if it's still available. Have you guys checked that yet?
Absolutely not.
No.
It may be sold out by now.
It's sold
Probably
out.
not. I doubt it.
It's sold out?
Is it? Okay. Players can attempt the run with Abby, Dina, Ellie, Jesse, Lev, Manny, Mel, Tommy, Yara, or Joel. You can play as anybody.
Who
And
the
just keep
fuck is Mel?
You know, Mel?
I don't remember.
Mel.
Yeah,
know Mel.
You know Mel. It's
Mel.
Mel.
Mel? Oh, yeah. Now I know Mel. Yeah, you look her up and I know Mel. Yeah. So yeah, you can play those. And actually, that looks like a fun little a fun little mode if you were playing it for like the second time or something. It's something different to do. I don't really like roguelikes, but I saw them, and it is basically what I thought it was going to be. You're going to start as a character, and you're going to go through, and as you go through, you'll like level up your weapons. They essentially saw what Far Cry was doing. They're like, we can do that too, and it was probably, knowing Naughty Dog, probably better than what hell they were trying to do with Far Cry. I hate those damn modes in Far Cry.
Yeah.
BioWare released a 50-second trailer for Dreadwolf, and they said no reveal will come until next summer.
We ain't never getting that.
Who do they think they are? GTA?
It's a hell of a thing for them to do after all these years. They're like, yo, Dreadwolf! Not so fast, though. We'll see you next year. It's like, why even say anything? Just go quiet.
Right.
Yeah.
Just release a tweet and be like, we will not be at the Game Awards. Quit thinking about it. But no, they released a trailer to tell you that. Like,
remember they was coming to E3 with pictures? Like, hey, look at some stuff we drew. Like, you getting this shit out of here?
There's some concept art.
Yo.
Cyberpunk's latest update brought fast travel by train. You can now hang out at your apartment with romantic partners. You can listen to the radio outside the car. You can have replayable car races, and you can go to scenic locations and check out the environment via binoculars, in addition to other hot fixes and stability patches and all that.
I will tell you, the radio outside the car is annoying as hell because you get out the car and the radio just keeps playing. I hate the radio in this game. Like, I don't want to hear any. Yes, I do not like. I don't care for much of the music that's on the radio at all.
I like it, but so, when I say I like it, I mean I like two specific channels. I just listen to two channels and I don't mind it.
I typically just turn the radio off when I get in the car because I'm not feeling any of the music at all.
Got it. This is an interesting one. PlayStation tipped PlayStation users, that all Discovery content they've purchased ever will be removed from their libraries December 31st, 2023. So it doesn't matter if you've got it downloaded or anything, it's just being removed. It's been taken off the network and it's been taken off your console. So if you've got Alaska Survivor Season 6, that shit is disappearing.
That is wild.
And you're not getting, there was no mention of like, we'll give you a refund or a voodoo transfer. No, they're like, no, that shit's just gone now.
This isn't the first time they've done shit like that, by the way, too.
No, it's
this
not
the first time any of this has happened with digital content.
That's true. Yeah. But I feel like this is the first time in a little while that we've seen on such a big scale. It's not like a movie or a show. It literally is the entire library. It's like 300 shows. It's like the whole anything that you've ever bought. And I bought some of that stuff. It's been a long time, but some of these episodes and stuff I bought, I think on PS3. When I was scrolling through it, I was like, I own some of that shit.
Yeah.
And there was like a Survivor show back in the day. I used to be really into like Les Stroud and Survivor Man and stuff like that, reality TV stuff. And there was a Survivor show that I was watching where they put like 10 people in the woods and they all just like had to live, and then like they could ring the bell and go home, and like you'd see like who basically could last out the other ones. And I got really into it, and I own like 8 episodes, and it's included in that. I was like, oh, that shit's gone now. I don't care because I haven't watched a thing in years and would never go back and actually watch it again. But still, I paid for it, and it's just yours. Gone. Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, that's the thing. People, when you buy anything digital, you don't fucking own it. You're paying for a license to rent the stuff as long as they want to give you that license to rent the stuff.
Correct.
They can pull it from you at any point in time. It's all in the fine print.
In years past, I've always defended it, going like, yeah, it's in the terms of service, they can do that. But like, I used to always be like, but nobody's going to actually do that.
No, they're doing
it. Here, they're like, I can't see that anymore. Now I'm like, well, they might actually do that shit.
Yeah. You got to think of it the same way you think of an online game. Eventually, those servers get cut off.
Yeah.
At some point, you're probably going to lose access.
They won't even let you download it. Like if you have it downloaded, it just won't work anymore. Yep. So
sucks.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately with digital content. It is, but that's what it is.
Yep.
That's why
and
buy Blu-ray still.
I still buy Blu-ray. I was just about to say the same thing. For years now, once some of my favorite shows started to cycle off the subs years ago, I'm not saying this isn't a recent thing, maybe 7-8 years ago, I started buying Blu-rays. I have Blu-rays of all of my favorite shows and all of my favorite movies.
Me too.
And yeah, I've been doing that for a while now. And I was thinking about that when this news story popped up. I was like, no way. Like, yeah, buy some. The problem with that though, Because for newer content, they're no longer releasing on Blu-ray. They're no longer releasing physical media of that stuff.
Yeah.
The only way you can watch it is subscribing. They don't even let you buy to own it or digital copies. They just
Did you
want you to
see
subscribe.
The news that WWE just announced that they're not going to make DVDs anymore.
I did not see that, but that doesn't surprise me. I'm surprised they were still doing it.
Yeah,
actually.
they're not making DVDs and Blu-rays of their pay-per-views no more. I think the what is it? The Saudi event. I can't remember what's it called.
Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel is going to be the last one they're going to produce.
That's wild because I mean that's definitely like a wrestling culture thing of swapping DVDs and things. Yeah.
Why? Why make you swap DVDs when I have it all here for you? So you just
And the subscription. Yeah, they want the subscription.
Yep.
So what they've learned is that the recurring revenue is more important than the sales. The sales hurt.
Yeah, because that's a one-time sale.
Exactly.
It also costs so much to press the disc and create all the packaging, all the art, like all the stuff that has to go into that. Why bother? I've got this.
So that's why the new stuff
Come here.
isn't. That's why they're not printing the new stuff. Which brings us to one of our favorite sayings on this show and our dear leader Grub: do crimes, rip that shit. Like, let's get back to Napster, guys. We did it once. We thought we fought them off and won, and they're fucking around again. So let's let them find out. Fucking rip that shit. Sell it to your friends. Bootleg some shit out of a trunk. Like, don't let them do this to us.
Also, I found out earlier this year, if you really want wrestling DVDs, you can still get them.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to know why, because fuck them, that's why. Because of shit like this.
Exactly.
So they want to keep messing around? Well, they'll find out. You know, like we're not all just going to be like, okay, I guess all of our stuff's gone. No, people stop buying some shit. Start recording it themselves.
Yeah.
So it's not that hard.
I don't buy content because I don't watch it again. So
you have all of your digital library. I don't hear that. You were building your digital movie library and stuff forever.
That was my mom. My mom bought all that stuff. So
okay.
I was just she bought all the physical media, so she would buy it, and I would just get her digital codes and
you just claim it.
them in. Yeah, she's like, here, I don't need the digital one. So here's the 4K Blu-ray because I don't have one of those players or a 4K TV, and here's a digital code.
What happened to 4K Blu-rays?
They still are a thing.
No, I know that, but so like the PlayStation 3 came out and it was like an easy recommendation because it had a Blu-ray player. It was the cheapest, most affordable Blu-ray player.
Correct.
Then they had like the slim model come out, and then that was like the best one. And then like shortly after that, Blu-ray players became the new DVD player. You could pick them up anywhere for 40, 50 bucks.
Yep.
When I needed a Blu-ray player upstairs, the reason I pulled my PlayStation 4 out of retirement up there is I tried to buy a Blu-ray player. They're like, it'll be $400. I was like, what the fuck happened?
Because it's a 4K Blu-ray player. Like, for example, your PS3 is not playing 4K Blu-rays.
Of course not. But like, if I was going to spend that much money, I'm just going to get a console. Like, who's buying that much of just a Blu-ray? Like, that's it. That's all it is, just a Blu-ray player.
Yeah, the 4K Blu-ray players are still really expensive.
So expensive. So expensive. I remember
I don't have one.
I looked
now.
at my family and I was like, I got a PlayStation 4. Let's just take it off the shelf and go hook it up so you guys can watch the movies up here.
I've got several 4K discs from my mom and one or two that I've bought for like Across the Spider-Verse and Into the Spider-Verse. And I've never actually put them in a console to watch. I just use a digital version. So I'm not moving my PS5 out there. And I'm not buying a 4K Blu-ray player because they're too damn expensive.
In a console.
Well, you know, we've talked about this before when the leaks happened because we saw like the roadmap for Xbox and, you know, they've got a new console that's digital, but it's not necessarily an upgrade. It doesn't really do anything new. Like I wouldn't upgrade to that. Even if they came out with like a pro model, even for GTA 6, I don't think I'd upgrade a console for GTA 6 alone. Instead of upgrading a console, I'd just wait for the PC version. I'd play it on console as shitty as it could be, and I would just get it on PC whenever I could.
Yep, I'm definitely not buying a pro model console. I'd rather just put that money into the
PC upgrade.
PC.
Yeah. Same. And I'm not getting rid of my Xbox because I value the 4K Blu-ray a lot. I use that more than I play games on the console. I use it more as a 4K Blu-ray player. So I'm definitely not getting rid of it to not have a disc drive. Yeah. The moment they were like, it's all digital, I was like, nope, not interested.
At all.
Yeah, it'd have to be cheap, like Series S cheap. Maybe. As like an extra TV box. Like maybe. But no, not as to replace the Series X I have. No thanks. I'm good.
Yeah. And I'm just not moving my console out of here. It's in here, and this is where I play my PlayStation games. I'm not moving to the damn TV to watch a 4K Blu-ray. Fuck that.
Which is hilarious because if I was going to get a PlayStation 5, I would only want the digital one. But as I don't value it as like the entertainment hub either. I don't use it for that. It would just be for games. Okay. Where were we? Oh, speaking of PlayStation, we have one more. This came out today. I have not read the whole article. I did share the article because I saw it on Reddit. But I got the gist of it. IGN is reporting that Bungie's independence, right? So Sony buys Bungie, and we talked about it then. Dev brought up all about how Bungie still values their independence. They're going to act solely independent of Sony PlayStation Studios.
Mhm.
So they have an article out that says that independence is at stake if Bungie doesn't meet its agreed upon financial goals. And the snippet that I saw, again, I didn't read the whole article, so I may be missing context, is that essentially what they have is like a board of like 5 or 6 people, and it's split. It's not split right down the middle. It's like 3 Bungie folks, 2 PlayStation folks. And if they don't meet their financial goals, PlayStation has the right to dissolve that like leadership committee, and they essentially just make them a PlayStation studio. And I didn't read all the other context. I don't have any further details on what the thing is. Sorry, I didn't have time. I didn't get into it. Did you guys read it? Did you read it, Dev?
No.
It's a long article. It's very detailed. So if you care about
Right.
Bungie, I would suggest people go read it.
I don't care enough to read that article. Just put up the goddamn game and I'll play it, and that's it. I don't care about if they become a Sony run studio. Like, is there Destiny? I'm gonna play.
Well,
that.
if they do, my question to you was, if they do and Sony takes control of them, does Bungie still provide games to other platforms, or they become exclusive?
I don't know, and I don't really care.
Wow.
Yeah, it is kind of wow, because when they bought them, it seemed like it was very important to you that they remain independent, do their own
No,
thing.
it wasn't important to me. It was just important to them. I was not speaking on behalf of myself. I was speaking on behalf of the fact
He was
that they
the
wanted.
Bungie representative.
It was not.
Got it.
This was not my feelings.
Okay.
Because I don't really care whether they make games for everything or not. But that was.
Well, I
something that was
remember
important to them.
when we've talked about this for a long time, when I told you that they were going to be bought, your thing was they're not going to be bought. They value their independence. They're going to stay independent. And then when they got bought, you were like, they're still going to keep their independence. And it's like a year later.
Because
It's like,
that was part of the deal.
it doesn't look like they're going to keep their independence at all.
They were.
Not at
We
all.
can make games for everything. It wasn't about just making Sony exclusive games. That was part of their deal.
Well, it looks like
because
they might.
value
The future
other
might
things.
hold where they just make Sony exclusive games.
Exactly.
That's
That
the
might
first
be the
step for
future.
them.
That seems like where we're probably headed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Unless they
if that
can
happens. That happens. I don't know.
pull a
Whatever.
rabbit out
I'm
of
not.
the hat.
I don't give a shit about Marathon. I have no desire to play that game whatsoever. But they're going to release the final shape, and I will play that. And
Watch
that
Herman
may
Hulse
be
come
the
out and
end
be
of it.
like, PlayStation 5 exclusive Marathon. Dev like has new wallpapers and backgrounds.
He's gonna start a running marathon.
Yeah. Marathon, the Marathon
I
FM
didn't
radio
play
or
anything
podcast.
Bungie before Destiny. I was when
Just
Destiny was
fucking
first
with you,
announced. I wasn't even gonna play that because I was like, "This is the Halo people." I don't care about that. And then I saw the game. I was like, "Ooh."
Well, see, there you go. You didn't see Marathon yet. Wait till you
I've
see the
seen
game.
Marathon. I've seen Marathon. But
Wait till you see the game.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's online only. It's multiplayer only. I don't want that. There's no story. It's no, thank you.
Well, I mean, I don't have a dog in the race. I'm not into Bungie games, but I do think a lot of Xbox fans are, and I feel bad for them. But not too bad. Not too bad.
I don't feel
They
bad.
bought Call of Duty, so
You know what? I hope it goes. I hope it all goes to Sony, and Sony keeps it and says, "Screw all of you." I don't
there it is.
care.
That's what we were looking for.
I don't care.
I will read that article when they make it an audible. Give me the audio book of that article. 'Cause I'm not reading that shit.
It was a lot of good work. I just didn't.
I'm
have
quite
time.
sure it is.
Yeah,
I'm overreading.
didn't have time.
Reading's overrated.
Rumor control. I'm not going to go into the rumors. There's a lot of them. They're floating around. There's things out there about Wu-Tang. There's things out there about Bethesda. So
For the children.
if you are watching the Game Awards this week and you don't want anything to be spoiled and you see all those reveals for the first time, be careful in your browsing. Because there's lots of stuff that's already come out. Remasters.
I've seen lots of hints at
Oh,
stuff.
no, I've
but
seen
I haven't
full-blown
seen. I
leaks.
haven't seen anything yet. I've just seen.
yeah.
Oh, there's leaks. Oh, the leaks. I'm like.
I haven't been trying to. I've been trying not to
seen a
share
thing.
them because I don't want to. Even in the leaks channel, I just didn't want to bother, and I honestly didn't even want to talk about it. I don't really care. So
Well, you
a
don't
lot
care
of them.
about leaks.
A lot of them actually don't even really. It's not even that the leaks. It's just a lot of the leaks just don't particularly excite me a whole lot. So I'm not even all that enthusiastic. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
I just
Keep
looked
it
at the
moving.
Wu-Tang one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Delvin's going to get
excited.
excited. He's about to get an Xbox.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am. Hell yeah.
So Dev, almost 2 hours in, take it away.
Blue Days 93 segment over and under. Let's see. 12.5 new IP games trailers shown at the Game Awards. Last year, we had a total of 11 out of 35 games announced that were new IP. So sequels, DLC, ports, remakes obviously don't count. So over or under 12.5 new IP games at the Game Awards.
I wasn't listening. I was listening to the Wu-Tang thing.
Listening, not even reading.
No, I
God,
was
you say M-word for real, man. If you don't just read some shit.
Wow. Wow. Guys, bring it in.
You only have one.
Hence the 0.5.
I'm going.
So I can read.
I'm going the under.
I'll take the over. And the reason being is I think maybe more so than years past, I feel like there may be more indie games in this show. And I think most of them would count as new IPs, even if they're not like consequential to most people. So I'll take the over.
I'm going with the under.
I'm gonna stick
Just
with
because I don't care. It's over for me at this point. I'm losing. It doesn't matter.
I don't know where we are. I don't know who's losing.
You didn't give us an update, so
yeah, I don't know.
I remember last
time
time I was down by one.
He could just make it up. He'd be like Delvin won 35 to like I wouldn't know any better. I'd be like, sure.
Yeah.
I made it up.
That's what you should do.
Delvin's, I like this idea. This is a good idea.
Just make it up.
Over, under, Delvin. What are you taking?
Under.
He said under. Yeah.
All right, cool. And then last but not least, true or false, there will be new hardware announced and shown at the Game Awards. This would include a new Switch, a PS5 Pro, a new handheld, or new Pro controller. No regular controller design variations.
I was going to say no until they said Pro controller. Ooh.
I could see Xbox showing their new controller. I could see it.
I was thinking the same thing.
I wouldn't bet on it though, but I could see it. Like if you're like, is it possible? It's possible. Would I say it's likely? No. So I'll say no. False. But I won't be surprised if they. It just feels like a lot because I don't. Hang on. You guys answer and then I'll tell you why.
You know what? I'm gonna go false too.
Yeah, I'm going false. I don't think we're gonna see any new hardware.
Damn, nobody took the bait. So the bait that would keep me from doing it is, I believe Xbox will have a game there. I believe Bethesda will have a game there. I think Xbox is having a published game there, and have 2, 3, 4 things there, and a controller just feels like a lot. That's like an Xbox showcase at that fucking point. Like, what are you guys doing? That's a whole damn showcase. So that feels like too much. And, you know, Xbox, what did they just do recently? They had like their Xbox Direct. That was pretty good. I think maybe they want to keep that going, and like maybe saving a controller announcement or something for like that would be a good shot in the arm. So that's why I landed on false instead of true.
Yeah. Life says new Switch announcement at the Game Awards.
I would be shocked. There's no way in hell Nintendo shows hardware at the damn Game Awards. They're not giving something like that to Keeley. Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Nintendo does what they want, and it ain't gonna be there.
They don't have to do that. They can tweet it out. They can just send up a direct. Literally, don't even have to announce it. You just wake up and there just be a direct on YouTube.
Yep.
And everybody will go nuts and everybody will watch it. Like it's unnecessary for them to do that. Yep. I think the Game Awards would be more used for like, all right, so we got the Metroid Prime remaster, right? Yeah. What if they did Prime 2 remaster of the game? Like that's what I think I could see something at the Game Awards. Like get a little spotlight on a port or a game,
DLC,
new IP. Yeah, they're not gonna nothing too consequential at the Game Awards.
Just never gonna see Metroid Prime 4, huh? Just doesn't exist.
You gotta build up to it.
It's a launch game, yeah. Gotta get all the other Metroid Primes first.
We only got the first one. Got 2 more to go.
Madness.
Like if the I mean, I hate to bring it up again, conjure it up again. The ghost, the amount of times we've danced on its grave. But if those Zelda ports were true, I definitely could see something like that at the Game Awards. Right, where they're like, we've got Twilight Princess HD coming to Switch in April. Sure. Something like that makes sense for what Nintendo would do there. Like what did they do? I always go back to like they unveiled Donkey Kong there. Right? Donkey Kong, not Mario. Not Mario Kart, not Switch. Nothing consequential, like something beneath that, a tier down. New Kirby game? Sure. But then they're not going too hard at the Game Awards, I don't think. Maybe they'll surprise me. Maybe Doug Bowser's different. Maybe he's like, fuck, I love Jeff Keighley. But I don't think so. I honestly be surprised. I'd be surprised if they were there at all. Like if I was to do an over under, I'd be like, true or false, one Nintendo announcement at the Game Awards.
Why
over or under?
Like, why wouldn't you want to be there? It's like all eyes on
But
gaming.
they've done it. They've literally just gone
So
entire
weird.
shows where
They
they collect
thing.
their award, but they don't announce anything. And then they had like the one thing, I think the time that I paid attention to Nintendo the Game Awards the most was they demoed Breath of the Wild at the Game Awards one year. That's like the thing that I remember more than anything. And that was just a demo. They didn't announce the game. They didn't there was no date. They literally showed us how to put a pin on a map in Zelda Breath of the Wild.
I
years
remember
before
that.
it came out. They were like, here's the gamepad, and you can put a pin on the map. And that was it.
Really?
They
Wow.
did do that. Yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
now.
I don't remember that at all. But
Stupidest thing I ever saw.
And to me, but that was more important than even Donkey Kong. To me, like that was more consequential of like news than that. Like that's the most Nintendo has ever done. So for them to show up with like a big announcement like hardware, that seems unbelievable.
Yep.
We went from dropping a map to dropping a console like that. That doesn't seem possible.
Nintendo is who we think they are.
Yeah. You might get
All
like
right, man.
F-Zero 99 update. That's what we get at the Game Awards.
People still playing that?
Oh
That's
yeah,
still a
people like
thing?
the game.
Yeah.
There's some people think it's Switch Game of the Year.
Really?
Most people are
Yeah,
wrong.
that's a real. That's not. I'm not joking. That's not
Those
exaggerating.
people
That's
are
a real
absolutely
thing.
wrong.
Oh, I believe you. Nintendo fans are crazy.
Dude, people
insane.
love that
I don't
game.
understand Nintendo
People
fans.
love that
Mario
game. I was
Wonder.
watching one YouTuber, a Nintendo YouTuber, says the best F-Zero game ever.
Not
Interesting.
saying much.
I wouldn't know any better.
F-Zero's
I don't
kinda
like
trash.
F-Zero, so I
I've never
wouldn't know
liked
any better.
F-Zero either. Yeah.
I'm so happy to find friends because I've been saying that shit on Shaq and to get me in all sorts of trouble for years.
Yeah,
Come
why-
on.
Mike Minotti hates me. It's
Well,
like,
Ooh,
he
I've
hates you for other
found
reasons.
F-Zero forever.
It's not because they have zero.
I'm like, dude, this game is not what you guys think it is.
F-Zero's box art looks cool, but the game can kick rocks.
It's not that great. Yeah.
It's
But
alright.
there are those that love it. It's got like a cult following,
I don't trust those people.
I don't trust Colts.
They want a remaster, they want a new one. It's like, this is what we're making? F-Zero racers? I can't get a Diddy Kong Racing, but we got time to make F-Zero games. The fuck are we doing?
Bring back Excite Bike. That's what we want.
Dude, yes. Excite Bike's
Now that-
1,000 times better
that's
than
good.
F-Zero.
Bring back Excite
Way
Bike. We don't need
better.
F-Zero. We don't need
Rebecca's gonna
Diddy Kong.
scissor kick us
Excite
for
Bike.
saying that.
Probably.
So
I was gonna
Let her try. y'all always so scared
Delvin.
of Rebecca.
Delvin,
Delvin,
no.
why are you? What is your? Why? What are you so worried about?
That wasn't it. That's not where he was, Dev. That wasn't it.
Donnie picked up what I was going.
I got you. I'm with you, man.
God,
Nope.
We're so much more alike than we're different, you and I,
Yes,
Delvin.
we are.
Jesus Christ!
I was with you from the start. I think I was with
Yeah.
you when I said it. I was like, oh no.
Not going there.
Good Lord!
She's spoken for, Delvin.
So is he.
Well, that's true. I guess that's true, Brandon. So for some odd reason, that doesn't seem to matter when on his side of the equation. I don't think I'm like, that's not stopping anything, Brandon. That doesn't hold any water. There's no weight there.
Oh man.
Good Lord. Okay, it's question time.
That's it. We're almost done for the year.
Done for the year.
Wow.
Woo!
Wow.
Yarden wants to know.
Hang on.
How?
Hang on. You come to the Christmas party?
No,
Are you really not?
I'm really
He wasn't
not.
coming.
Dude, seriously?
I can't.
I knew that.
It's the end of the year show.
Yes, I understand that, but it's also on the 15th where I have plans already.
All right. Well, we
Yeah,
tried.
Sorry.
I noticed you've been
I mean-
absent in responding, and I was like, I know he's
Yeah.
seen this message.
I knew
I've seen
he
it.
was absent because he wasn't.
Yeah, I
coming.
knew. I knew it was coming. I just
He's
need
like
to
a
put him
black
on. I need to
person.
put him on the record.
Anytime.
So everybody
You
direct
said-
your hate and vitriol
There's
to
no
one
hate.
at Dat Ninja Dev on Discord.
Anytime.
Let him
They'll
know.
be fine. They'll be fine. I won't be
Dev-
missed.
I'm telling you, by the
no
time we
hate.
get there, it's gonna be 3 of us. It's gonna be me, Josh, and Haley.
Probably.
So sad. So
Sit
damn
out.
sad. I'm not gonna do it
Anytime
anymore.
You send
I'm
out
just gonna stop
group
doing it.
checks to black people and they don't respond. They not coming to whatever event you're
I'm just gonna stop doing it. We just won't have any more Christmas shows.
I looked at the dates. I was like, that's not gonna work.
I have an ideal about that. And it's a simple one. This is how we make Dev come. Just make our last episode the Christmas episode.
That probably will. That would have worked.
That'll work. 100%.
That
Yeah,
worked.
but no, we can't get the whole team on the last episode.
They'll come.
Yeah, well,
They'll come.
if you build it,
If we
They
do the
might.
Christmas episode on December 2nd, is what you're suggesting. That's the answer.
Yes.
That's a terrible
Yeah.
answer. What an
That is
awful
the that is
answer.
the
It's
that's
a
the if you
terrible
want
answer.
Dev there, that is
I
the
mean-
term you have to do.
we could also just record it on the 2nd, and you could publish it later.
There you
Wow.
go. I'm just telling you how to get Dev there.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Look, December is one of those
Look,
months where I'm like, look,
Haley and I will do our best, listeners, because we value you. We value you. We appreciate your listening.
my wife and kids in December. It's like, look, we got to turn up. So I just won't be there. I'm sorry. Once they're older, it's a different situation. But right now,
Okay.
ages 8 and 12,
10 years from now, we're on GT7.
GTA 7,
Christmas
baby,
show.
we're good. We're golden.
We're not gonna make it that long.
It's gonna be it's gonna be
I'm
virtual
just saying in
reality.
life-
You know,
I'm just saying in life in general, we're not making 10 years.
I mean, you might not. 'Cause
And
you
it's
was
a good
Genuine.
thing to bring up. Like, do we even make it to GTA 6?
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, like, not like us medically, like the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the
We might
path
not
that
make
we're
it
on. Do we
We may
get
not
there?
make it.
Yeah. America might not see GTA
Or
6.
does Florida just collapse on itself?
Mhm.
Like create
That
the
might happen.
singularity.
Yeah.
Florida collapses in on itself. California
The
finally
big
separates.
reset. Yeah, like the big reset. We all just folded to the singularity.
Mhm. Becomes
Mhm.
Waterworld.
I'm waiting for it. Can't wait. Let it happen.
Yeah, you'll be out there with the flag standing and just watching it happen, right? Some
Yeah.
Florida ass shit.
Oh, did you notice the boat in the GTA trailer had all the flags?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen those scenes before.
Yeah.
Yes, I have to.
Yeah, I think GTA is going to have a lot of fun with that segment
much
of the
fun.
population. It's going to be great.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can't wait.
It's going to be
Can't
good.
wait. It's gonna be absolute nonsense.
They already started.
It's true.
I've seen the tweets. Like, damn, the game ain't even out. Like it's just like a less than a minute trailer.
Big mad. Big mad. Yeah. All right. So Yarden says, how comparable was the GTA 6 trailer to Delvin's everyday life? I'm not familiar with the Miami area at all. Were you able to tell from the trailer if the game was attempting to represent the layout of the area in a way similar to GTA 5 and the LA area?
Did you hear his stories as
I
we
was going to say
started
the
the
exact same thing.
podcast?
Did you hear the story that
Yeah.
started the podcast? I found crack in my car,
Randomly
and I don't smoke crack. So
on a
that tells-
Tuesday. It was just
Yeah.
a Tuesday.
Yes.
For me, it was
Exactly a
just
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not from Florida as Delvin is, but I visited Florida. I've visited Miami many a time, and I'm pretty accurate.
Pretty accurate.
I've also visited Ocala, and that's where like the the mud folks are. And I visited like Fort Lauderdale. Like I visited all of that trailer. I've been to
Yes.
many parts of Florida that represent that whole trailer, except for the
Exactly.
Keys. I haven't been to the Keys.
Keys.
That'd be a new one for me.
I've been to the Keys in Fort Lauderdale. That's it.
Fort Lauderdale's so sleepy and old.
It is.
It's kind of
the
nice though.
perfect place.
It is.
to
It's
go on
kind
a
of nice,
cruise.
right?
It's
Shit's
great.
like deserted at like 7
Mhm.
p.m. Like entire malls and shit are shut down. You're like, where is everybody?
The beach is nice and
They're all-
empty.
they're
The
asleep.
water's cool.
home.
It's great. It's
Yep.
great.
Fort Lauderdale Beach is turning up as of late. They're getting there. People are
That's because
realizing
the
that
Miami beach is overrun. Just
that
spill
people
it
are
out. into the-
realizing that Fort Lauderdale Beach is a little bit cleaner.
Pretty nice.
They're like,
Yeah.
pretty nice. They're like, all right.
I can only imagine the pearl clutching on the on the dock on the porch.
Exactly.
Who are these people?
Yeah.
Right? My God.
Oh,
Yeah. So there you go. It's an accurate representation.
100%.
Yep. John D. I think that's Stingray. Stingray
Yeah.
X.
The singer,
Yep.
John D.
God damn it. He wants to know, what is your greatest gaming accomplishment this year?
What a good question. I don't know.
Playing over 100 hours of Tears of the Kingdom. Because
Yeah,
Lord knows that wasn't
90.
in the game plan.
Perhaps beating Tears of the Kingdom.
Mine is definitely the 90 plus hours in Cyberpunk and finishing the DLC. Because I did not think I was ever going to play Cyberpunk like this at all. Because I could not stand it upon launch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gave me many shit about that for a long time.
Sure did. God, that shit felt terrible at the
So
beginning.
good.
What a success.
It's great now. It's fantastic now.
Hmm.
So it's Tears of the Kingdom for you, Donnie, or something else?
I'm trying to think if there's something else. That's what I'm in my head. I'm trying to see if I can think of anything else. I don't know. I have no easy way of checking achievements or anything. I do a good job of keeping on my library, so I can't even remember all the things there. Oh, hang on. I have a list of games I played. Guess I could start there.
What did Donnie accomplish?
I mean, I
in the
played,
year of
actually,
2023?
I'll go the opposite way.
Games.
I actually have played a lot of games this year. I would say that more than Tears of the Kingdom is just the amount of games that I sampled and dabbled in this year. I think
You
I've
played a lot.
and it's not just played, beat. I think I've
Mhm.
beaten maybe 30 games this year.
That's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a lot
You've
for
beat
me.
More games than I've played.
It's not, yeah, it's like that's outside the norm. Like it's definitely outside the norm. This is not what I usually do. A lot of times I kick off games early. And there have been some that I've done that, but I mean, I have really, it may not be 30. I'm kind of looking at a list and kind of eyeballing it. Maybe 20. I may have beaten 20, 25 games this year, and that's a lot because I think in most years I'd beat like 6 to 10 games and maybe play 20 or 25. And this year I've maybe beat 25 and I've probably played like 40, 50, so I think
Nice.
that has more to do with, excuse me. I don't think I've played as many longer games this year. A lot of the games that I've played have been shorter in nature.
That makes sense.
There's no like
It's a good thing.
Valhalla in this group. There's no giant epic. I didn't even play Tears of the Kingdom all that long compared to Breath of the Wild. I think I was played Tears of the Kingdom maybe half as long as I played Breath of the Wild.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was pretty. I didn't golden path it, but close to what you'd probably think. That I think my Tears of the Kingdom run was maybe 60 hours, something like that.
Oh, I've been playing way longer than you did.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you
Maybe
suck.
maybe 80.
Pretty accurate. Pretty accurate.
I was very focused in what I was doing, grinding shrines, grinding temples, grinding caves, grinding the underground, getting temples, getting bosses. Played a lot of indies this year too.
You sure did. I feel like every week it was a couple.
Yeah. And just looking at my list, I'm looking at Tachia and Teslagrad 2 and Under the Waves and Planet Alana and Dredge and Trine 5, if that count. I think that count. Maybe not indie. It's kind of like that.
I mean, it's mainly because you finally embraced your final form on PC. That's really what it boils down to.
Probably.
Cheap games everywhere. By the bucket loads. You're buying them like buckets of rice.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Buckets of rice, baby.
100%. That's probably a more adequate description of why I've played so many.
All right. Smoking Joe says,
Joe.
Congrats on another wonderful year. What NBA player had the most memorable last season? So I'm guessing their final season. You get your farewell tour.
Okay, so final season. Okay, gotcha.
Final season.
Yeah. That's
not
my
like
guess.
Last season. Who had the best season?
He didn't say
year.
who had the most memorable like their it says last season, so I'm guessing he means final season.
Kobe comes to mind.
I'm going with Kobe.
No.
I don't think
last season they finished like 10th.
It has nothing to do with where they finish.
I was gonna
It's
say that.
about the journey of the final year of that player. Like, you know how when you probably don't remember, but when Kareem retired, like he would go to every city and there would be like an outpouring of love. He got a rocking chair, like all kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember.
That's what I think of when I think about like their final season. Not like whether the team did well, but if it's a memorable player and it's like their last hurrah, like the outpouring of love in every city.
People were celebrating Kobe's last year.
Mhm.
Like really, they didn't do that with
course.
Shaq. Shaq kind of just left.
Course.
But
Yeah,
Kobe,
Shaq just kind of left because he did the journeyman thing. Like Dirk had a memorable last year.
He also, I mean, that's the difference is that Kobe, well, one, he let everybody know a year in advance.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also still a very competitive player at the time individually.
Yep.
Shaq was a shell of himself by the end. You argue Shaq played 8-10 seasons too long.
Yeah.
He just kept rolling himself out there.
Who did he play for?
He played with the Suns. He played with the Celtics. He played with the Cavs. Like he's just out there, just playing with whoever.
His last year, what team was he on?
I don't remember.
I think it was the Suns, wasn't it?
No, because the Suns traded him to the Cavs.
Okay, let me look it up.
It's probably the Celtics, which is just gross.
It might have
the whole
been.
idea of Shaq in a Celtics uniform is just wrong.
It is.
It's true.
Don't even look right.
Trying to see if I can find a quick game log. Suns, Cavs, Celtics. He announced his retirement after playing for the Celtics.
Yeah, I would retire after that too, out of shame.
Yeah, you think about like final runs. You think about like Dwayne Wade's final year. You think about like Dirk Nowitzki's final year, Kobe's final year, Kareem's final year. You think about like memorable final years because they're going to all these cities and they're getting that outpouring of love because you know it's their last year, it's their retirement year.
Yeah.
Like Jordan didn't really have that because he just retired after winning a ring and then came back.
I just thought of one.
I like the way that you're answering the question, but like it's not where I would go with the question, so my answer would be very different. Obviously, Kobe retired. He had his year-long celebration, so every game he was doing, they were giving him all the honors. There was a lot of pageantry.
Yes.
But the team sucked. And it was like a shell of himself. Especially like his final moment where like just nobody guarded him.
It was fun.
Just let him chuck the whole thing. Like
they just let him shoot every game. Like,
I wasn't like that just felt wrong to me in some ways. I would have rather seen him earn it. My answer that I was thinking of was David Robinson.
I don't even remember.
I don't remember his.
Year. They won the title and he retired.
Well, that's probably why I don't remember it.
You don't
won back-to-back titles, right?
No,
I think they won one and then he won another one and then he retired.
They won the Asterisk.
They drafted Tim.
That was the Asterisk year, right?
I don't remember which year.
99.
I think they got two. He got two.
Did he?
I think he did get two.
I think it was like 99 and 01 and not 2000 maybe. Or 2000 and not 01 and 02. I don't remember. But I think it may have been like that. Maybe not back-to-back. But I thought it was back-to-back. But I know he retired after winning. And he had a good year. He was an all-star. The team drafted a new guy. They won a championship. And like that's like when you talk about who had a great final year, like that's as good as it gets.
So they won him in 99 and 03.
Okay. And he retired in that last season, right?
I guess. I don't know. Because again,
memory.
I don't remember David Robinson's last year. There wasn't anything memorable about his year. Them winning a championship. It's the Spurs won. Nobody cares about the fuck Spurs. It was Tim Duncan's team.
Player. It wasn't Tim Duncan's team. It was a rookie. He was like a new guy. It was David Robinson's team. He averaged like 20 and 10. It was his team. He's an all-star.
It was Tim Duncan's team. All right.
No, it wasn't.
And it's
not 2008, man. It's 2003. 2002.
No pageantry. There wasn't any kind of like
all about
out
this
the carpet.
pomp and circumstance.
Because
even
that's
when
what
it
makes it memorable.
Anything.
That's what
doesn't mean anything. It didn't matter.
Absolutely.
They finished like 11th. It didn't mean anything.
It means something.
Nothing was accomplished.
Like here for the NBA and the spirit.
Oh, you're just wanting let's all go and wave.
So
we're here for the parade. I wanted to hear for the basketball.
It's kind of it's like the happy ending. Like, all right, we're sending them off.
Happy ending isn't watching them finish dead last and lose to the fucking Timberwolves on a Thursday night. That's not a happy ending.
Yeah, that's when they already accomplished everything.
All right,
he scored 60 in his final game. I mean,
yeah, but playing like 5-on-4.
It's okay. It's fucking Kobe, baby. Let's go.
memorable may be the right word.
Yeah.
I may be thinking memorable too much is like great, like best.
You're
Yeah,
looking,
you're thinking
you're looking for
memorable as in
their
positive.
Like
that
best.
last great year,
The best
Yeah,
final year. Yeah, you might be right.
it's like
You
what's
might be
creating
right.
the memories.
Because I remember
good.
Dirk getting the celebrations, but Dirk wasn't
Mhm.
all that great towards the end either.
He wasn't.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, same with
Most of them
Wade.
aren't.
Wade wasn't
Yeah,
great.
Wade was
Wade was
broken
terrible.
down. Like Wade's last
Mhm.
5 years were bad.
Yep.
You know, it was rough. I'm trying to think like who legit like.
I mean, you can say
is there anybody
Jordan,
that legit just
Jordan's
went out like
retirement.
on a
Jordan's-
crazy note?
That was terrible.
Jordan's is bad. The Wizards, that
I'm
whole
saying,
thing was
I'm
bad.
saying his first two retirements were fucking great. He won
Yes.
championships. It was the end of a three-peat.
Yeah, but
Fucking
when
great.
you retire and come back, it ruins it. You've
Mhm.
lost it all.
Yeah.
You know, I was gonna initially say Magic Johnson
Mm,
because he was forced to leave.
yeah,
Then he
Mhm.
came back for the Dream Team.
yeah, true.
And then left again. But then I realized he played again
He
in
played
like
again.
'96.
Jordan's
Mhm.
was the Jordan like the Ric Flair of basketball? To retire like a half dozen times, keeps coming back, have his last match, and come back, do it again.
Who is?
The last dance, and do it again. You know.
Huh.
But yeah,
Because you get
memorable is
so
good.
many players that just
I'm
failed.
not trying to
like,
hate on Kobe's thing. I just remember watching it. And I was just like, it just something felt like Kobe was. I just felt like un-Kobe. Like that's not what
But
Kobe would have wanted to be
It
treated that way.
definitely was
Like he's
different for
too much
Kobe
of a
because
competitor for that.
he
you
was
know?
also talking, and you were seeing so much of a
Yes.
different side of
That was
Kobe.
That
the
I
cool thing
remember.
about
I
it.
remember that.
Mentorship
He was way
and
more
talking
personable.
more. Yeah, so that's what also makes it so much more
I thought it
memorable
was
of the
cool
year.
because people were like players
That's
were like
fair.
asking for his autograph, and
That's
he
a
was signing
good-
people's
Mhm.
shoes and stuff like that after the game. Like,
That's
that's
fair.
pretty cool
That's a
because you
good
didn't
point.
see that side of Kobe.
It did
You
feel
did.
like he had mellowed out, and he more or
Mhm.
less had accepted the Lakers were where they were at the time. Like he knew it wasn't getting any better. Who was on
Yep.
that team? It was like Smush Parker.
Yeah, that was
God.
a terrible team.
That team sucked. Like I
Oh,
remember I was
terrible.
just like, we're gonna go out like this. Come on,
Yep.
man. Trade him to a contender. Get him somewhere where that fire can still burn. Like this is awful. This shit sucks.
He
It's
just
Kobe
knew that
Bryant.
this was it. He knew that it was it, and this is what it's going to be. I'm going to go ahead and have my farewell tour, and we're just going to,
He was more
gonna go out.
personable and doing article and doing interviews and hanging out, and that was cool. But like, it's not the Kobe that I wanted to remember. I wanted the killer, like that
Yeah.
Kobe. That's what I think of when I think of Kobe, like the
Yeah.
battles with Ginobili, the wars with the Suns, and
Yep.
the Olympics. Like he was ruthless, man, ultra
Yeah.
competitor. Want to eat your heart out, and that's what when I said I didn't like that version of the Lakers and that version of Kobe. That's what I meant. That's what I remember. It's just like how un-Kobe it all was. I was like, this isn't.
Yeah, it was for me.
It's
It
like a
was like him
facade.
coming in. Yeah, it was him coming into the next, and it really started to like. And this is what makes me miss Kobe so much because he was getting into the point where he was truly mentoring the. Oh my God, what was his show on ESPN?
I remember that
Plus?
he did that a lot with Kyrie at the time. He was real big
Mhm.
with Kyrie. They were real close. And as a Cavs fan and Kyrie on the team at the time, they were. I remember there was always talks. Kyrie was always texting Kobe after the
Yeah.
games. They watched film
Yep.
together. They practiced together.
His final season was like the beginning of Kobe Bryant's detail, where he was actually breaking down things and sharing with players his insights and stuff like that. Like that to me was the beginning of that, and that's what makes
Yeah.
it so much more memorable.
Very smart. Yeah, if nobody's ever heard Kobe either, not just break down games, but even outside of basketball, he's a very intelligent man.
Very, very
Yeah.
intelligent.
Yeah, he really was. It would have been cool to. He would have been great. It would have been great if we'd gotten like a Kobe Bryant podcast. That would have been amazing.
He'd been a great
Oh my
NBA analyst.
God, would have been
Wouldn't it?
awesome.
It would have been really good.
Gone too soon.
I thought he was going to go play basketball in Italy after he retired for a while. He kept talking about maybe going back. Because his dad coach basketball in like the Italian league or something when he
I
was
think
younger.
so.
Yeah. And I remember after he retired, he kept talking about maybe doing that for like a season or two. And I thought maybe we get a chance to see him play again. And
He was. I didn't think he was because he was really big into like we're Gianna. We're gonna get her, and because she
Yeah,
was basically
true.
little him. She
Yeah.
was way on that, and he was like, "Well, this is where it's gonna go. She's gonna be the next me."
Yeah.
Gone too soon.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hambone Johnny says, "Are there any games you missed this year and are going to be the top of your backlog for 2024?"
I'll start off answering this. Dead Space. That was the one I missed. I'm like, damn, I wanted to play that one so
Did
bad.
you just pick up the sale?
I have it. I just hadn't had a chance to play it.
Oh, because it's on sale on Xbox, like the super deluxe version for like $7. People are losing their minds about it.
Ooh, that's a great deal.
Isn't it in Game Pass?
Yeah, but they don't care. They want the
They wanna own
expansions
it.
and all that. They want to own it, so they can't take it away from you.
I have it. I have it, but I haven't played it. It's actually on my PlayStation, but I probably will never get to it.
Yeah,
I don't have anything on my this on my list that I didn't get to this year that I want to get to next year.
yeah, Dead Space, and now I think about Final Fantasy 16, which I also didn't get to.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play that one. When it comes to PC, I want to give it a try. Maybe my first like real true Final Fantasy game.
2 more years.
Go
I've been
play
interested
Sonic and
in
leave
that
me alone.
Backlog. Sorry, I was in my head. I was wondering, when did Tim Duncan retire? It wasn't that long after the Spurs won the title, but I thought it was a year or two after, and it was. They kind of tailed off there towards the
Was
end.
he celebrating when he retired? Did they
No,
do the
you
whole
remember he
thing?
retired like in quiet. Like that's not Tim. He's just not that
Tim
guy.
just like left.
He's like, yeah, and that's all he
That's
ever
the-
wanted to do was like he just leaves.
Yep.
And he still hangs out around the Spurs and stuff, but you just never know it. Like they don't turn it in. There's no pageantry. He doesn't want any of it. He's the opposite of that.
Yep.
So like he's still there. Like I see them, I hear him on podcast stuff. They talk about he's like at shoot arounds. He'll come in and practice every now and again, and like he's still kind of around. He shows up at people's weddings and stuff. People like and then what I've heard in podcasts, apparently he's funny as hell. Like in retirement, he's just like destroying people, roasting people left and right. I was like, man, I would love to see this, but apparently we never will. They're like, yeah, nobody will ever see that.
He was funny on the court too. If you listen to
He
people
was.
talk,
Yeah.
like he was getting people. Like he was roasting fools while beating their ass on the court, and you couldn't rattle him. Like Timmy D was that man.
Yeah, no, I think I've played or bought everything that I wanted. The one thing that I want to do, and I'll probably quit San Andreas to do it, is with a break, I want to get into Metal Gear. I bought it. I was so excited for it, and I just really haven't had any time for it.
Metal Gear.
And yeah, I'll probably play Metal Gear 2 over the break. It's kind of what I want to do. I played Metal Gear 1 like the year before last, and I don't want to play 3 because they're the remake. So I'll play 2 and then be ready for the remake next year if it comes out next year.
I forgot all about that game.
But what's what happens? You play 30, 40 games. I don't have too many that I feel like I missed. If I was interested in, I got to it eventually. I more or less got to them all. Yeah.
Ryan Craig, he's got a couple of questions.
Let's do it.
Says, who would be in your top 8 spaces in MySpace?
Do I have 8?
Yeah,
I don't know if I got 8 friends.
my wife and you two. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know if I could get to 8.
I don't think I can get to 8 either.
I mean, I could get to 8, but it'd be full of people that are like, you know, not like your top, not my MySpace 8. Like back in the day, that was the crew. You know,
I didn't
this
even
would
have
just
a MySpace 8.
It'd be like half the crew and like some friend, like some acquaintances, like some friends. Like I know that person. Like, are you actually friends? You ever spoke to each other? Well, not really.
No.
Not outside the podcast. You know, so yeah, I don't know. Like YouTube, Sean, Chalfie and I were talking about throttle bodies and brake boosters and stuff yesterday. So we chat a little bit outside of the thing. Not that like everybody in PSVG and stuff aren't friends, but you know, like I can't be like Haley be my top 8. It's like I don't think Haley and I have ever really like spoke outside of Discord or outside the podcast. Like, so like, you know, how much do you weigh something like that?
Right.
You know, like Sean and I talk about life. You know, we talk about life. Joffy and I talk about life. Like we carry on outside of business conversations.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if I have 8 of those people. That's what I was really trying to say. I don't know if I have 8 of those people.
I will refrain from answering this question because I know if I answer this question, I will get some people mad. I will get calls and messages and like, why was I in your top 8? Like, nope, not going there.
That's what happens when you have
He's just flexing on
40,000
us.
followers on Twitter.
He's just flexing on us. He's like, I got so many friends. I'm so popular.
Yeah.
I can't even begin to tell you
2,700 podcasts. Yeah.
because
I am
how
the
pissed
one in the
these
group
people
who is
off.
not antisocial. That's why.
I'd rather
I'm
I'd rather have a core 4.
I know
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
I'm not antisocial. I just don't give a fuck about social media.
Yeah, you just don't like
Like,
people.
I like people. I've got
Yeah.
lots of people.
Yeah, he's way
but
more
I'm
social
not-
than I
I'm-
am.
I'm not on social media like that.
I
Dude,
thought
my
you talked
aunt,
to people on
my
social
aunt called
media.
me yesterday, and because I haven't seen them in a little bit, and she was like, "What'd you guys do for Christmas? Or I mean, for Thanksgiving?" I was like, "I stayed home," and she was like, "Why don't you ever just come do Thanksgiving with us?" I was like, "Because I don't like." And it was so funny because I lived with them for like 4 years. They took care of me, and afterwards, like they've always been like as much of family, like of parents that I have. Because both my parents have died, so they're like
Mhm.
as most parents that I have that's possible, but still not parents. Like I'm not their kid, but you know,
Right.
but like parent-ish, like parent adjacent.
Yes.
And they're always inviting me to things, and I never show up. And I just had to always like, don't you get this? Like, do you not get this by now? Like, I don't like these situations. I didn't grow up like this. My memories aren't, oh, I got all 12 of my family around the Christmas tree and we're all together. Like, none of that means anything to me. I don't want to do that. That's not fun or comfortable or anything like that to me. I was like, I'm here. I love you guys. I wish you the best and all the happiness in the world. But y'all stay over there.
And I'm gonna be here.
Stay my ass over here.
Yeah, that is.
I had a
should be
whole
understood.
Friendsgiving. I went and did
Goodness
Thanksgiving
gracious,
with
that
2
sounds
other
like a
families.
nightmare.
It was fantastic. We had a great
Oh,
time.
God.
So yeah, I'm not antisocial. I'm just not on social media.
I saved Thanksgiving twice. I'm done. I
But
don't wanna
did
see
you?
anything.
Didn't you say it all like collapsed and fell apart at the end?
It worked
Did it?
somewhat. Duct tape stuff and all that stuff, but it went through.
He's like, we ordered sushi, but we got there.
We got there. They got the Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah. My MySpace
Yeah.
8 though, Dev starts talking some shit about some of my games and he quickly get moved off. That's for sure.
Yeah, me and Donnie
Just
were
start
playing that
setting
game.
I'd start setting emo music and shit every time Dev pissed me off.
Mhm.
I miss
That's
my
how me and
MySpace
Donnie-
profile. Those are sweet
Donnie would
days.
be number 8 and just constantly getting kicked off the rotation. Like, oh, this how you feel today?
So
Yep.
Kicked off.
so y'all would just use it as like power.
That's all it ever was. That's all the
Yeah.
MySpace 8 was. That's what it was for.
Like nah.
Starting the drama.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You see how me and Donnie go back and forth. It is
I
what it is.
don't like the drama. I'd rather not be bothered.
Well,
I
That's me and Donnie's thing.
I don't want to
the
be
trash
bothered.
talk.
That's the thing. There's drama. I'm like, God, I'll be over here.
you gotta set the profile music with the mood. He pissed me off, started playing some angry music. You know, start talking about half people and shit. You know, like having to
Yeah.
play on the song, maybe have some song lyrics, have a status, a cryptic status that looks sus.
that was funny.
See,
I said, damn, so many explicit.
they went hard on you, man.
They
I was
did.
listening to that, I was like,
Delightful.
damn.
Damn,
It was
sent me
really-
so many messages.
It was really just Delvin. It wasn't even everybody. It was really just Delvin.
That's true.
I said, oh, he's not here today. I'm gonna get
Get
him.
an agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came with a purpose.
Yeah.
Just slanderous.
So then we were
Slanderous.
talking to Rebecca about the MySpace because I've essentially turned my Steam profile into like my MySpace page. I got all decked out. I got all my backgrounds and my avatars and everything. It's good stuff.
And the first thing she
I
asked,
can't even remember.
I'm gonna be in your MySpace 8, right, Delvin? I'm like, well, I guess you have to be that.
Yeah, she'd be number one. You have hearts around the border and shit.
Oh
Yeah,
my
can't-
You're
god.
such a
can't put-
sucker.
Can't put
Such a
number one.
sucker.
You trying to
My
really
man's
get
got
me
a
in trouble.
hard weakness for women.
You really trying to get me in trouble. Like,
All
put a
women.
number-
Simping, Delvin.
put
What
her
is
Oh,
it?
number
yeah,
one now.
for
I'm
sure,
gonna be in-
for
I'm gonna be in
sure.
trouble. No,
I mean, that's it.
absolutely not. Can't do that.
Big simpin'. That's the
My
new
nu-
parody.
my
That's the new
MySpace 8
song.
will be
Big
probably-
simping.
Big
Be all right.
simpin'.
My MySpace
Spending
8 probably
G's.
will be like 6 girls and 2 guys. You would-
That's how you start the drama.
Yeah, see? Terrible.
Yeah.
You start working the
No.
girls in there and they be
The only
wondering
female in
where
my
the
MySpace
placement
ain't
is and why ain't I first and why is she there?
well,
That's the drama.
yeah, you know,
Yeah,
You
I
that's
watch
the
yourself doing that shit.
You don't want
Yeah.
drama, but you're gonna put 6 chicks in your
Oh yeah,
MySpace.
he wants
ain't.
all the drama.
That's nothing
Yeah.
but drama.
that's a different type of drama. Like,
When you meet a
Well, that's-
person that
that's
says
what
they
we're
don't
here
want
for.
drama, that's this. That's what we just
Mhm.
saw.
Yeah.
I don't want the
Mhm.
drama.
but I'll take it
Put
when it
all
comes.
my girlfriends in the top 8.
Yeah, just put 'em on. I'm gonna have top 1 through 6, 7 and 8, Devin Donnie. So y'all can watch it all unfold.
Jesus Christ.
Just slowly working my way up.
All right, look, you ain't acting right. Donnie about to take that 6th spot.
My God.
You
Send him a Steam code.
Oh.
A Steam code for this game, Delvin.
Yeah.
Move up number 5.
Yeah. Y'all let Donnie get ahead of y'all. I don't know what's going on.
And I'm just solid 8. Not moving, just staying at the bottom. I ain't
Ocho.
giving him nothing. We're just talking trash.
Yeah.
Ocho.
If they ever ask, like he deserves to be there.
It's number 5. It's half.
I'm only half, I'm half. It really is. Go half dev. His next question was, how do you see the college football playoff playing out?
Oh, who cares?
That is the right response. Moving on.
The perfect response.
I hate what college football has succumbed to, like what's happened to the sport. It's
like
going to ruin
it's all scripted.
so much of any. It's seriously souring like anticipation for like NCAA football. Like I would have told you 100% that'd be my most anticipated game of the year next year, and now I don't think I can because I'm just not that into what college football is becoming. One, Florida State got absolutely fucked and hosed, and I'd be furious if I were them. Two, do you see the portal? Have you guys don't follow any of that, do you? College.
I just know that there's lots of people in that thing. I keep seeing
2,000 players entered the portal on Monday.
That's so many players.
It's chaos, and I think a beat writer that I follow explained it really well. And again, for anybody that's never heard of me go deep on NCAA, I used to scout. I am totally so much for the players getting paid. Like I am 100%. And I'm totally fine with players having the right to transfer. But what it's turned into is that players want to be paid and have the fame of professional athletes. But they want to have all of the protections and say as an amateur athlete. They want their cake and they want to eat it too. If you're going to take $1 million, then sign a commitment and sign a contract. Be a professional athlete. That's not what they want to do. What they want to do is they want to get paid to be the highest bidder in year one, and then become a free agent again, and then become a free agent again, and they just want to keep doing it. And it's mass chaos is what it's doing to the sport. So a beat reporter that I follow, he said, so let me get this right. If you go to a school and you don't play, you want to transfer. If you go to a school and you play better than people thought you were, you want to transfer. If you go to a school and you play well, you want to transfer. If you go to a school and you don't play as well as you should, you want to transfer. Because like that's all everybody just wants to transfer so they can then essentially, it's like going on eBay. Go to transfer and I'm open to the highest bidder. And it's not that I would ever want to restrict people from making their money. It's just the sport of football, like holistically, can't operate endlessly like that. You can't turn over 50% of a football team. There's no camaraderie. There's no team. There's no building. It lessens the player. It doesn't help the players. There's no development.
They're hurting themselves.
Learning. You're hurting themselves. And then there's like this very seedy underbelly of what's happening here that nobody really focuses on because it's not sexy. The top players, they're always going to get a home and they're going to get paid lots of money. But there are hundreds of players on the bottom of that scale that don't get a plan. There's no spot. There's no chair for them at the end of the music. And now they got to go to D2 schools or whatever because somebody told them that they were interested in them and then they pulled the offer at the last minute or they didn't find a spot for them. And if they don't do that, let's say if everybody finds a seat, that means there's less scholarships for kids coming out of high school, which is ultimately the whole damn point of going to college. It's like we're finding more and more teams that are they're not having. So in every given year, generally, a college would take 20 to 25, 27 freshmen scholarship, new kids out of high school. Now we're seeing teams 10, 13, because they would rather have a 2 or 3 year more developed transfer than a high schooler that can't help them yet. So they'll take him instead of giving them a scholarship. And now that kid that would have got a scholarship now has to go to Chattanooga or whatever and hope to get, noticed at some point years down the line. And like, there's a compounding and cascading effect to doing this over year. And I cannot stand it. I absolutely hate it. It's terrible. Like you were just destroying the sport. Like the whole thing you're destroying.
Yeah.
Because it's true.
The
Like
transfer portal, I think, is terrible.
Ohio State has lost 40 players this week. 40 to graduation, to the NFL, and to the transfer portal. 40 kids have left.
Jesus.
Our starting quarterback left. You know why he left? Because the coach wouldn't guarantee him the starting position for next year. So again, you leave if you don't get to play. You leave if you don't get what you want. It's like it's essentially you leave anytime you feel moderately inconvenienced. You leave.
Why would I want to take a player who doesn't want to compete for his spot?
His dad, apparently it was I don't want to get into it. Nobody cares about Ohio State, but apparently his dad came and they were like, we want you to guarantee us our spot or we're going somewhere else. And the coach was like, we have a lot of other good players here. The position is open. If somebody beats them, we're going to give it to somebody else. And they're like, then we leave. And they left.
Bye.
Oh, I'm with you there. But like, again, holistically across the sport, if you look at it at a macro level, you can't operate like this. And I don't want to restrict players' abilities.
I would. You get one transfer.
I think something like that, or what I think is fair is I think what needs to happen is I think the NCAA is going to have to step in and mandate that schools take a certain amount of freshmen. I think that needs to happen. Mm-hmm. Every year you're giving out 17 scholarships. I don't care if you want to give it to the left tackle from Notre Dame that wants to leave. No, we're a college. We're going to bring in new students, not students from the next college over. And then on top of that, I think if you commit to a school out of high school, I do think there needs to be a commitment in place. You can't transfer for 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to be in the program for 2 years. Then you can transfer. But you can't just commit and then somebody calls you and goes, we'll give you 50 grand if you leave. And then you leave. And then somebody calls you and goes, we'll give you 40 grand and then you leave. No, there has to be something. Yeah. There has to be some sort of continuity.
Because it's also about teaching these kids to honor commitments. But if you're just letting them break the commitment constantly, then what's the point? What are we teaching them?
Even more so than that, I hate what it's doing to the culture of the sport. Mm-hmm. As a fandom and a TV broadcast, all they're talking about now is which school has the most money to buy players. That's like the race now.
So ridiculous.
The other part that I don't like is if a kid doesn't play well or well enough, what do the fans want now? Kick him out. We'll get a transfer. We'll get somebody else. There's no like patience to
Where's
maybe he'll get better.
Isn't this about developing players to
exactly
get to the
like
NFL?
how about we give him another training camp, another strength and training routine, another year to grow and learn, another year to get more mature, and let's come back and let's see if he's any better. Like when I think of my scouting days, linemen are rarely good out of high school. Rarely, if ever. Most all linemen redshirt. Like you need a year in strength and conditioning before you can play D1 football as a guard or a nose tackle. You're just not ready. I don't care how good you are out of high school. You're just not ready. And now, if the kids transfer and you're starting a freshman left tackle and he sucks because he's going to get owned because he's a freshman. There's nobody that's like, he'll get better. Give him a year or two. He'll get better. There's no commitment to the player anymore. Get him out of here. Take his scholarship away and let's get a transfer that's better. Like it's gross. And ultimately, I'm sorry to get on my soap. I hate it. Like, I really hate it. This week has been the worst. I'm like, the college football that I grew up and loved is dead. And I cannot stand what it's being turned into. I really can't.
Yeah. It's awful. Absolutely awful. Finally, he says 20 years ago, the best offensive team in the NBA averaged 105 points per game. Now the best team is scoring 128 points per game. How high can it go?
That was 20 years ago. I wonder what 40 years ago. What was the average scoring team in like 85?
92. Yeah, like 92.
It's probably higher than that. It's going to be higher than the 90s. They used to score a lot more points in the 70s and 80s.
That's a good point. They did because
we used to have 145, 142 games all the time.
You're absolutely right. Because people could shoot in the 80s and the 90s. People just forgot how to. There was like no fundamentals. Nobody could shoot. And now we're back to the point where everybody can shoot. So they're scoring in bunches again. So it's not just the fact that there's no defense. It's the fact that people are just so much more skilled when it comes to scoring.
That is true. They're more skilled. It is about the defense. The defense in the 90s went hard. They beat the shit out of each other.
You were able to hit people. Then
Yeah,
now
you
you
could hit people.
breathe on somebody wrong.
You could step under them. Like that step rule, that's a big one. You could get underneath people, disrupt their landing. You could hip check people. You could hand check people. Like you can't do any of that anymore. You basically can't touch a shooter. It's a foul. You can't touch a shooter.
It sucks. So it's not that they can't play defense or they don't want to. It's the fact that the rules have just changed the game to the point where playing defense is so much more difficult.
Yeah.
Kind of like the NFL where you can't hit people anymore. It's just passing league.
I'm trying to see everything. Points per game. In the 70s was 106. In the 80s was 109. In the 1990s was 101. In the 2000s it was 96. In the 2010s it was 102, and now it's 112. So right now in the 2020s, based on this website, I'm looking at statmuse.com, and I'm just looking at points per game. And the 2020s is essentially right there on par, like a point away from the 1980s.
Okay.
Yep. So when it was up, then it went all the way down, and then it's back up again.
So
I don't think it's going to get much higher than what we are right now, unless they just.
It's pretty high.
It's
pretty high now.
135.
What is it? I don't even know where we are.
The
128.
The best team is at 128.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the thing about it now is it's so analytics driven. That's why we shoot so many threes.
Yep.
They realize that if you just take more shots as threes, that even if you shoot badly, it outweighs it. So like the teams now know how many shots they get up and how fast they have to shoot to get that many shots. So like finding more offense can only come from efficiency. It can't come from like just being better. So like it probably can't get much higher than this. Cause I mean, that's how I know it's boring and nobody likes to think about it, but that's how the NBA GMs, that's how they're thinking. They know that they only get so many possessions a game and that number can only go up if they shoot in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock. Like they already have it down to a science at that level. Granularly, they're like, we have to get the ball up every 8 minutes and 7 out of 10 have to be threes for us to accomplish what we want to accomplish. That's how they treat the game now.
Those advanced analytics have completely changed the way basketball is played. It drives me nuts.
Well, we have the Warriors and the Rockets. I mean, the Rockets and the Warriors to thank for that.
Yeah,
that was their thing. They did that.
Bastards.
And they're actually, I mean, the Suns did it before it was analytics. It was the Suns.
That was
and then people analyzed why that worked and then took it to an extreme.
Yeah.
And that's where we got the Rockets and the Warriors. And then once the Warriors came on, everybody adapted to that. But what I've been seeing, which is real nice, is the counter to that, which we see with the Nuggets. We've seen the counter. The big man is slowly coming back because people are now realizing if you have a big man that has some skill, you can punish teams like that. Like you can bury them because nobody's got bigs no more.
He's leading the league in points, rebounds, and assists.
I saw you post. I mean, I know but like I was bringing up last year. He's great. Everybody knows he's great. Everybody knows he's statistically great. The secret sauce, the magic is when you watch him. It's so easy. It looks so easy. It's not hard. It's not endless ISO plays and running into the defense and off. It's not even like off balance shots. It comes easy. It's within the flow of the offense. It just comes. The game just flows to him. I love watching Denver play basketball. The team play, like even the team is so good to watch because like I feel like they could play blindfolded. They all know where everybody's going to be, right? They're off ball action.
IQ basketball team.
Perfect. And it's really good. I haven't seen, they're the closest I've seen to like the 80 Celtics since then. Like they're really right there. Like they move the ball, they set each other up. It's the amount of easy look. That's why the game looks easy because they're getting easy shots. They don't have to be Kyrie to make shots. They don't have to make it in double teams and hands in your face. They're getting open looks. And the amount of open looks that they get is insane. It's like every third possession, they have a wide open shot.
They just lost to the Clippers tonight.
Wow. How are the Clippers? I haven't checked in on them in a minute.
They're middling. They're trying to figure it out.
I don't think that's going to work.
Me either. I mean,
My
they've
Cavs
actually
got
been
a
better since putting Westbrook on the bench, letting him come off the bench. They've
that's a
done better
good role for
already.
him. My Cavs got a good win tonight against the Magic, who've been on fire. We needed one. You know, they're thinking about firing the coach.
Really?
Yeah, in Cleveland.
Wow.
Yeah, because they're not. I don't think it's his fault. I do think like they're trying to change the way the team plays, and I think that I told you that before the season. Remember that they wanted
Yeah.
to shoot threes and stuff, and I was like, this is going to be an adjustment. And they're probably going to lose some games. So I was expecting this, but like the fans weren't. But more so than that, they've been super injured. They've lost Allen for half the games. They've lost Mitchell for half the games. Garland's been out of half the game. Like they haven't really had to play the whole team yet. And because they've struggled for 6 weeks now, they're like a 500 team. I'm starting to hear it not just in like fans on the radio. I'm starting to hear it from pundits from the beat and stuff. Like JB may be shown the door if they don't pull it together because they're kind of on borrowed time here. Donovan Mitchell's a free agent after next season. So the Cavs have to make a choice to either sign or trade him this season or this offseason. So he's not going to re-sign this season. He may re-sign in the offseason if they want to take it that far. But you know how this works. We've seen this happen times. The further you wait, the less strength, the less leverage you have. Yeah. So they're kind of on borrowed time, and it doesn't help that the Pacers and the Magic and everybody's better. The Pacers were. Do you watch their game? Did you watch the Pacers game the other night?
They beat the Celtics. I was like, oh my God.
Dude,
really?
That game was incredible. It was so much fun. The Halliburton kid, man, he's a fucking stud. He's a star. I don't even like Indiana, and I'm like happy to. I'm just like, man, they're good.
Daniel's team, man.
It's good.
I love seeing
Pacers, baby.
I like seeing. I mean, I like it when I do like it when the smaller market teams have good basketball. I think the league is better for it.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't like it when it's all just Miami, LA, New York all the time. We do that often. I like it when I like when they're good too. I like the Lakers are good.
Tournament. It's the Bucks, the Pacers, the Lakers, and the Pels right now.
Yeah, and I like that the Lakers are good and stuff. And Boston's a machine, and I mean they'd be my pick to win it. So I'm not opposed to the stalwarts having it, but I like it when there's up and coming teams in the mid.
Yeah, I like it too because you have just way more competition. It makes the games better.
I want to see Indiana and Cleveland and Denver in the mix in Milwaukee. That parity is good for basketball.
Anybody but the Bulls right now.
Oh, they're the worst. I honestly think they're the worst team. Them or Charlotte. And I'd rather have the Wizards. No, that's not right. I always forget about Washington. Washington's awful.
That's because they're forgettable. They're forgettable.
For every time we do this, I'm like, oh shit, that's right. They play basketball in Washington. I forgot all that.
Yeah.
But the Bulls are so bad. They're so bad. They're going to trade everybody.
Who's worse than the Wizards? The Pistons. They've only won 2 games.
That's right. I like their team too. The roster.
Got a pretty decent team.
Yeah, they've got pieces. There's not a good team, but they've got pieces of a team. Mm-hmm. They need to inject the right veterans into that group. Yeah.
I didn't realize that the Spurs have only won 3 games and they're on a 15-game losing streak.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a team that they're just bad. They're starting Sohan is their starting point guard. You guys know him?
Nope.
He's a power forward that can't shoot. He's like 6'10".
And that's the point guard?
He's the best ball handler they have.
That doesn't sound good.
It's not great. No, they have a lot of like spot up shooters, and then they've got Wemby, but they don't have perimeter defense. They don't have a point guard. They don't have like ball handlers. They don't have like an offense. They don't run an offense. It's a lot of like dump the ball to Wemby and like see if he does something with it. Jeez. It's very non-pop like team. So they're bad. But I'd much rather take them over the Washington or Charlotte or like they've got Wemby. You take them over any of those folks just because they got Wemby, but they got to make some moves. They got to start to actually build a team around them. They'd be a great spot for Caruso.
Memphis is. Oof.
Yeah, I thought they were going to fall off, and not this bad.
Not this bad.
Is Ja's still not back yet, right? Or did he come
he's
back
got, I think, 5 more games before he's back.
Yeah, that'll help. But Marcus Smart's fighting with the team and stuff. And I thought he'd be good for them because he's going to come in and like kind of hold some accountability and We get back on defense. We fight hard on possessions. And I think that's what that team has always needed, but it seems like the young kids don't want to hear it. And that's a problem. That can be a problem sometimes if they don't want to hear it. And something usually has to happen. Either get rid of the vet or get rid of some of the young guns.
Yeah. I would say I'm surprised by Phoenix being as bad as they are right now with their injuries. So
yeah. And it's early. That's why it's early. I don't really care too much about trying to make assessments on teams until like January. Give everybody time to cook for a little bit.
It's right around the corner.
It is.
Yeah. Cavs, they just can't get it. It's like Mitchell's out and then Garland's out. Like you can't get them on the floor together. Jarrett's out or Okoro has missed like most of the season. Now your boy Strus has been great, which has been surprising because a lot of the Miami Heat players that like go elsewhere are terrible. You never hear from them again. He's been excellent. He's been an excellent free agent. How's Miami?
I don't care.
They're playing like Miami.
Oh,
They've had a lot of they had a lot of injuries too, though.
That's just what they do.
Yeah, they're right there with y'all. They're both 12-9.
It's the flip the switch team. They are that team. They're like, we will see you in the playoffs. They don't care. Just get us to the playoffs. The 8 seed, 9 doesn't fucking matter. Get us to the playoffs, and then we will go to the finals.
Yeah, they do.
Except this year. They better not get Boston. Boston's going to clown that team.
Tickets are cheap, like $20.
They might get beat by Indiana.
They may. Indiana could do it. Indiana on offense, I'm telling you, if you haven't watched them play, it's Nash-esque. Now on defense, they're not good. It's Nash-esque. On defense, it's Nash-esque. On offense, it's Nash-esque.
It makes sense.
But offense, it's a lot of fun. It's like watching the Warriors when they were kind of up and coming. It's a lot of fun watching them. They move the ball, they shoot. Like it's fast, it moves, it flows. It's a lot of fun to watch.
All right. We got a couple more questions to get through. Cal the Pug says more college football stuff. He says now the college football bracket is out.
Fuck you, Cal the Pug.
There we go. Highly favored to win the national championship. And do you think there should be
who's
more
in it?
Teams
Michigan, Bama, Texas. Who's playing Texas?
I don't fucking know. I ain't looked at it.
I forget who the other team is. Michigan, Bama, Texas, and who?
All I know is that Florida State was robbed.
They were so robbed. Oh, God. Who's the other team? Now it's bothering me. Michigan, Texas, Washington. Ooh. I would like to see Washington win it. I would be happy as long as Alabama stomps an absolute mud hole in Michigan. I've never wanted to root for Bama so hard in my life. And I think they will too. I like Bama to win and win big.
Yeah, I'm going to go Alabama.
Yeah. I'd take Bama in 10 points. I'd lay 10.
Do you think they need more players or more teams in it? Think they should expand the playoff?
So, well, they are. Next year they go to 12. So all of this that happened it'll all be fixed next year. I think 12 is too many. I think we'll have a lot of games that aren't consequential and nobody matters. I also think the 12-team playoff is going to murder what we used to know as the college football regular season. For a couple reasons. I hate that the playoff did this. So when they made this 14 playoff, like however many years ago, they did it because they didn't want to make a playoff. They thought it was going to kill the bowl system, which it did. It did anyway. But there was such an easy way to solve this. The system that it should have been from the start, and I still argue should be today, is it should be a 6-team playoff consisting of these 6 New Year's Day bowls, where you have the 2 top seeds get a first round bye, right? And then 3, 4, 5, and 6 play each other, and then they meet the first 2, and then you follow up in the championship game. The 12 team is going to ruin the regular season, and I'll give you a couple reasons why. First reason, I bet we could all guess. If I just told you to write down the 12 teams that you thought were going to be in the 12-team playoff every year for the next 5 years, I bet we could all score an 80 or higher on that test. Now, you can do that today. I can tell you now that Ohio State and Michigan will be there. Alabama and Georgia will be there. LSU or Florida or Texas will be there.
Yeah.
Maybe you get a Notre Dame in there every year.
I say maybe a Notre Dame.
Maybe a Notre Dame. Maybe a Penn State sneaks in the back, right? Maybe a
an SC or
Washington.
UCLA.
Maybe you there is a group of 8 or 10 teams that'll wrestle for those last 2 spots year in and year out. But the first 10 spots, what those first 10 are going to be. They're going to be the same every year. You have a Florida State and a Clemson. I think every year you can bet that the Big Ten will send 3 or 4. The SEC will send 3 or 4. The ACC will send 1 or 2. The Big 12 will send 1. And that's the playoff. That's it. That's the 12.
Yep.
So I think it's going to get tiring after a while, because here's what I think you're going to have is I think you're going to have a lot of games that just aren't all that appealing. You're going to have number 12 Penn State versus number 6 Texas A&M, right? And in most years, there's a huge difference between the number 3 team and the number 9 team. We're talking about a team that's almost undefeated and a team that's probably lost 3 or 4 games, right? So they're just not on the same par. So I think that's the first problem. The second problem, and the bigger problem that I have with the whole 12-team playoff, is what March Madness has done to college basketball. Nobody gives a shit about college basketball until March Madness starts.
That is correct.
And the thing that made college football amazing was how many games throughout the seasons had serious stakes on the line. Even in the early season, you had a big out-of-conference matchup at the first of the year. That might eliminate you from a chance to play for the national title if you lost. Second week of the season. Every week, it got harder and harder. The pressure is what makes the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry game so great, is that most of the time, it's always played at the final game of the year. Most of the time, there's a lot weighing on that game. Whoever wins that game goes to the Rose Bowl, goes to the Big Ten Championship, goes to play for a national championship, the winner of that game. Now, exists this chance. Let me paint this picture for you tomorrow, or for next year. The Big Ten is getting rid of divisions. So they will send the top 2 ranked teams to the playoff, to the Big Ten Championship. So here's a real plausibility that might happen. It would have happened this year. Ohio State, Michigan play each other on the final week of the season. Then play each other again a week later in the Big Ten Championship game. Then possibly, if they both play really well in the playoff, play each other for a third time in one season in the playoff. That's a realistic scenario that could happen here. There's a big reason why the big reason why the Big Ten brought in UCLA and USC and Oregon and Washington is they're hoping that some of those teams can mix in there at the top of the Big Ten with Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. They need more contenders. Otherwise, we're just going to get a lot of Ohio State, Michigan over and over again. And I don't think that's good for anybody. What happens to that rivalry when you get to the final game of the year and it doesn't matter if you win or lose or not? We'll see you next week.
Right.
Yeah.
This year, we would have, win or loss, we would have played each other again the week later. What does that even mean? In my head, I'm I wouldn't even play the starters then. I would just roll out a bunch of kids. We're playing the freshmen this week. We'll see you next week when it matters. It's weird. It's really, really weird. I think eventually
a really strange place.
I think eventually the Big Ten might just drop the championship game. And if you see what happened with Florida and Georgia, with Georgia and Alabama, I think the SEC should drop the championship game too. Florida State deserves to be in. They're undefeated. I'm not saying they're a better team than Bama. It doesn't matter, but they should be in. It sucks that happened to Georgia and Alabama, but that's what happens when you have a championship game. You have the potential to lose it all, and they did. So yeah, I think we're just going to have a lot of the same thing over and over again. And ultimately, I think it's going to mean that people don't care as much because there won't be as much on the line.
Yeah.
You'll roll into Saturday and it's if Ohio State loses 3 games.
They're going to be here for a year anyway. They're all going to go.
If Ohio State loses 3 games, they'll still probably make the 12-team playoff most years.
Which is ridiculous when you have a Florida State that's undefeated.
Yeah. So in the way it's going with everybody getting paid and stuff, it's I don't know. I think a lot of people will be we'll tune in December when the playoff starts.
Right.
And just not pay attention to games every week. And I hate feeling like the old man. I do. But you just got to come to realize it was just like we were talking about with the leaks and how much you hate the leaks and stuff. It's the same thing. I just realized I was like, it's just different. It's never going to be the same way it used to be, and I just got to get over it. It's just the thing that I knew and liked. It's just dead. We don't do that anymore. So it doesn't do me any good. Yeah, it doesn't do me any good to keep whining about it. But yeah, I don't think the playoffs going to be. It's going to do ratings and all that. That's going to be big, but actual meaning to the sport, I think it's probably a net negative.
Yep. And they really only care about, I mean, it's just money driven. It's so money
it literally is. It's all top to bottom now. The networks, the leagues, the coaches, the schools, the play. It's all about the money. It's just who gets the highest bidder. That's it. That's all it is. That's all it is now.
Madness. Got a question for Delvin.
Nope.
Ray says, can big meaty meat slapping meat play Avatar offline so no one can catch him online and take a screenshot?
What is it, a porn?
He said big meaty meat slapping meat. You forgot the
big meaty meat slapping meat.
Big meaty meat slapping meat.
Play Avatar. Yeah. Am I playing
Let
the
us
porn
touch our tips, gentlemen.
You are.
You're playing it offline and hide it? Like, no. Look at Birdman. I'm not playing that bullshit ass game. Cut that shit out.
It's on your PlayStation right now. You didn't even realize it.
No.
It's already installed. It's ready to go.
You know, I have to
only game you can play.
I have to cop up. I didn't see the reviews that I was expecting. I was expecting everybody to take Far Cry shots, and I didn't see any of that in the headlines that I saw on the Discord and stuff.
Yeah,
everybody was just like, it's an open world Ubisoft Avatar game. Seems to be exactly what we thought it was.
Yeah.
Nothing good or better or worse or less. Yeah. Just kind of is what we thought it was.
Yeah. I'm cool.
Snurts wants to know, what was your favorite video game related gift as a kid? His was the Sega Genesis console with Team USA basketball and Double Dragon. It's still hooked up in his living room decades later. I remember that game.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun game.
Was it? Was it like the Atari basketball game?
No. It was like the old EA Sports
like NBA Live,
game.
NBA Live, Coach K. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never played those on Genesis. Just NBA Jam.
They were great.
They were great.
They were really good.
They probably
Jam and Hang Time and all that stuff. That's all the kind of basketball I know from that era.
Hang Time wasn't even on Genesis. Just Jam.
I was just saying that era.
I think it might. Was Hang Time? I think it was.
It might have been. I know it was on 64, but either way, I remember NBA Live.
Mine's the NES.
NES.
That's what I got for Christmas. My first major gaming console. It was one Christmas. Dad got me the NES and then took me to Toys R Us that Christmas morning to pick out games for it.
Nice.
I got the NES with the
Gyromite because you're that old.
No, I didn't get Gyromite. I got Duck Hunt and Super Mario Brothers. I remember playing Duck Hunt all night because I thought that was.
Were you like 35 when you got Duck Hunt?
That's what everybody did when they bought it. You got the Mario and Duck Hunt multi-pack.
Yeah,
that's how it worked.
Or if you were rich, you got the one with Gyromite.
Or if you bought the sports version, you had the power pad and everything.
Yes, I almost forgot about that one. Yeah.
I don't remember if I got my Nintendo for Christmas. I don't remember getting the Nintendo. I remember getting one. I just don't remember if it was Christmas or not that I got my Nintendo. I know I got my Super Nintendo for Christmas.
The only gift I ever got at video games for Christmas was my PlayStation 2. I told the story once. My mom she traded in my 64 and got me a PS1. That was not a great gift for Christmas. I was furious. She pawned my 64 and all my games and was like, "But I got this PS1." It was like, that's worse. I know you don't think so, but me at the time, I was like, this is infinitely worse because it came with one game, WWF Attitude. Ooh, trust me, it was worse. It was so much worse. I was so mad.
I had that.
That game was fucking terrible.
Real bad.
I think I got that game right before college. I think that was a summer purchase.
I was like 9.
Yeah.
That's about right.
But yeah, my dad got me a PS2 one year, and it was cool. I remember how awesome Final Fantasy looked on it. I had like a demo disc for some Final Fantasy game. I remember they made like a waterfall. And I think I think the demo disc also had, I want to say, Dead or Alive, which looked incredible.
If that was
PS2, it would have been Final Fantasy 10.
10, yeah.
I don't remember.
10.
Titus.
And
Did
and
that
yeah,
di-
and I
that
and I
dis-
loved it, and I played it for 6 months, and then I think I traded it in for like a GameCube
Did the demo disc have Intellivision on it?
or a Dreamcast, maybe. I don't remember. Well, so here's what I remember, and I've told this story before, so I won't tell the whole thing. But here's what I remember: my dad got me the system, bought me no games. Did
I
not
remember
realize that
I
you had
remember
to
this
buy
story.
games for it.
Mm-hmm.
And when he showed, it didn't even wrap it. So when I came out, and he was like, "There's your Christmas present." I was like, "Thanks, Dad."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, did you get any games?" And he's like, "It doesn't come with games." He's like, "I paid enough money, it doesn't come with games." So I had to play the demo disc the first like weekend I had it. That's all I had to play with the demo disc.
Yeah, I remember when I got my PS1, I got it with NBA in the Zone, and didn't have a memory card, so I couldn't save my game. So
And if I remember correctly, yeah, I think I traded it for a Dreamcast. I traded it in at Comp USA for a Dreamcast and like a bunch of games. And
Oh.
I remember it was a bunch of games because I remember I had Crazy Taxi, and I remember I got NCAA. That's why I love that NCAA game with it was Drew Brees on the front. And
got
then,
the
but the
football
thing
one.
that I remember is Code Veronica. That was like the game.
Yeah, that was a great game.
And they were like, yeah, you can, because at the time I think Dreamcast was like I don't know, it was like
$99.99.
it was like $80. It was super cheap, and it was like a used one. And they were like, nobody's buying these. Well, like I got a lot of credit for my PlayStation. I remember that because they were the hotness, the DVDs and everything. They were the shit.
Mhm.
So I walked out of there like a Dreamcast, like 2 controllers, like 6 games. I thought I made a sweet deal.
You pretty much did. Dreamcast is a great system.
No, not at the time. I didn't. There were a lot of people like, "Are you crazy?"
Dreamcast
I'm
is a
still
very
thinking you were
underrated
crazy.
system.
But I didn't have any PlayStation games. I couldn't afford PlayStation games, and I wasn't that into PlayStation.
You're still
So
not
it's
in the PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it was like an easy trade at the time. I was like, "Oh, this is 1,000 times better." And I guarantee you, I played that Dreamcast for hundreds more hours.
I used to love my Dreamcast. Carrier,
I love the sports games.
Marvel
Yeah.
vs. Capcom, the sports games was
When I
great.
was younger, I wasn't like into gaming like I am now. You know, when I was younger at this time, I was playing like a lot of sports games and wrestling games. Like that was probably the majority of what I played, was like sports, wrestling, and like horror games. That was like it. I was doing mostly that. I wasn't into RPGs. I wasn't playing Japanese games, and I never did any like I didn't do Final Fantasy. None of that
You
stuff.
still don't. You're still.
I still
you're
don't,
naming all the
right,
games you
but,
don't
like,
play.
But like now, I play RPGs. I play a lot of things. I play Fire Emblem. I play a lot of things I never would have thought to play then.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Sweet. Our last question of the night comes from
Of the year.
Barrett
Of the year.
33. Yeah. Well, you guys have a few weeks where you'll do a show, but nothing here.
Wow.
Barrett 33 says, "Are the Metal Gear Solid franchise's best days behind it? Sure, the remakes will probably be good, but can this franchise produce a new game that lives up to the old games? How long before it loses its relevancy?" It's a
There's
very
always
good
hope.
question.
Is Metal Gear relevant?
No.
No.
Yeah, I think I probably agree. I don't think Metal Gear is all that relevant right now. It's nostalgic,
Yeah.
There you go.
but I don't know if
There's
it's relevant.
Kojima's gone. There's no more
Kojima's gone.
Metal Gear. That it's done.
I don't believe that. I believe
Yeah,
there will be more
I
Metal
think they
Gears.
can, I think they can
There-
do more. Metal
There
Gear.
might be, they may make another Metal Gear game, but it's just not going to be the same. It's not going to live up to what
I think
it
a
was.
lot of people will agree with you. I think doing one without Kojima is going to sting. I think what they're
Yeah.
trying to do with the remakes is to put a lot of distance between that.
Yeah.
So the people that are playing that Metal Gear 10 years from now probably don't even know who Kojima is.
Yeah. I was gonna say maybe they go the route like Revengeance. Revengeance was Metal Gear, but it was so different than the formula Kojima kind of set his own
Yeah.
path.
And that would make more
even-
sense to give it to a crazy developer that can kind of just make it its own thing, do something unique with it.
Yeah, it's going to be a complete departure from what Metal Gear actually is. Because even if you're doing the remakes, those are still Kojima's games. So anybody who ends up liking those 10 years later on, they're
Yeah,
like,
but
"Who
it
made
won't
that?"
be so out front and center that it's him. They
Yeah.
don't know who it is. I don't think a lot of people pay
I
attention.
wonder
to the
if
credits
they'll
and stuff.
take off the Hideo Kojima production.
I don't think they
in the
will.
beginning of the game.
That's
No, I
just
don't think-
costing them. That's just opening them up for fucking retaliation.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
Yeah, I don't think Metal Gear is truly relevant at this point outside of
I don't
nostalgia
either.
sake, and I don't think that regains its former glory ever.
I would probably be inclined to agree with you, but I mean, it's a really popular brand. So like, I want to give it some hope.
Yeah.
If they just, here's the problem. The biggest problem that I have with saying like it can be relevant and better in the future is Konami. There's nothing really to do with Metal Gear. If they were to like sell Metal Gear or loan it or license it to like a Ubisoft or a Capcom or something, I could get behind it. I'm like, this could be really good. But yeah, just if they're going to keep doing it, probably not.
Right.
Yeah.
And
They're
then the
just
thing
not
is, who's it relevant to?
making games anymore.
Who's looking at Metal Gears? Us, the people who've already played the
Yeah, they did
previous
it.
ones.
They need to reboot it, and we need to start a whole new legacy. You know, like a whole new universe of Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Yep.
Separate it from the Kojima universe and do its own thing.
Yeah, no Solid Snake, none of that. It needs to be something different. Otherwise, you're just chasing the ghost of Kojima and Solid Snake.
But I'm thinking like Splinter Cell, Deus Ex. You know, if you could find somebody to work with that has some chops to do something like that, could be good.
Yeah.
Won't be as zany, won't be as crazy as like that might be a good thing for a lot of people. Some people may like that. But yeah, its best days are probably behind it. Now,
probably
when I first read that, or when you read it, the first thing that I thought of is Resident Evil was more relevant when it was coming out at first, right? In the PlayStation 1 and 2 eras, the first Resident Evil, it was more relevant. It was like on the king of the video game space. But I would argue that like its best days are now. If Resident Evil 2 remake and 3 remake and 4 remake, and these are great games, and they're like very popular action shooter. They're selling better than ever. Like its best days are now. Resident Evil 7, right?
Yeah.
So like if they remake all of the Metal Gears in that style, and we have a collection of Metal Gear remakes that are like that, they're good. Could I argue that those days are better than the past? Maybe.
It depends on Konami, because we know Capcom cares. Konami,
yeah, they take the very big deal.
Yeah.
They wouldn't release a remastered collection like the Metal Gear Master Collection just released.
Exactly.
They would never do that to Resident Evil.
The difference
You're right.
is the publisher.
Again, the problem is Konami. They should sell it. They should sell the brand. No, so like
they really should.
If we're just speculating in the future, let's say 10 years from now, PlayStation buys the rights to Metal Gear, and PlayStation is making Metal Gear. Dude, I would be so fucking
that'd be
hyped.
awesome.
Right? That sounds exciting. Just knowing what the amount of money that they invest into projects. You just like let Blue Point make it, or I don't know, somebody else. It sounds like a great idea. It works. The problem really is Konami. Like there's not a whole lot of faith in that Konami wants to make big production industry leading video games anymore.
Yeah.
It seems like they want to make cost effective, sure things.
Yep.
That are gonna, you know,
like we got
in the cash
machines, and we'll go ahead and re-release this thing here.
And if you look at this like a business perspective, the smart move would be to be like exactly like what Halloween just did. Let's remake what we've got. Let's eke as much money as we can get out of this, and then we'll sell the franchise to somebody else to do something new with. I mean, that seems to be like maybe the path they're on. Let's remake a couple of these. They're low cost investments. Like we know the source material we're working with. Let's remake them shiny and cool and new. We'll sell those, make as many millions as we can, and then we'll offload the brand on somebody else to figure out what to do with in the future.
Yeah.
Possibly somebody that wants to partner with Kojima to bring him back.
Exactly.
I mean, that seems to be where it'd be if not just sell it to him outright.
That would be the move.
Yeah.
All right. Well, gentlemen, we've come to the end of the road. Yes, Blend Explosion. Garrett, we're still going. Because that's what we do. But yeah. That's going to do it for 2023 PSVG. We'll hit you guys with the Christmas episode in a few weeks, and then we'll catch you in the new year.
We.
Yeah, no, we. You're talking about we.
Yeah.
We will be back December 3rd or January 3rd.
Yes.
That'll be the date that we come back on the air. Shaq will come back on the 7th. And remember, listeners, we'll be bringing a bunch of guests in. We have so many people reached out to us about joining the team. So many more than I ever expected. I have a spreadsheet full of these people. we have like 17 people on my spreadsheet. So many people. So at first, when I first said this, I was like, I want to bring everybody through. May not be able to do that. It's a lot of guests.
Yeah.
Think about that. We have a guest for half the year.
Gotta tell you. Some of y'all ain't making it.
Yeah, it may be. I may need to pare down the list earlier, but the majority of the people, I think, we're at least going to bring on for an episode or two of either PSVG or XP or Shaq, wherever they fit. We'll give everybody a try, but we look forward to it. 2024, we got Cadillac, we got PSXP back to regular, back to live, and we're going to bring on a couple new people, and I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. It'll be a new year, new voices, good stuff. But I'm looking forward to my break. And I'm going to miss talking to you guys every week.
Yeah.
But I could use the, maybe we should hang out if you guys want to. I'm not sure how you guys do it. We can hang out in Discord, so we don't have to do a podcast. We can still get together and just
play
talk.
Avatar.
Yeah, we can get together and play Avatar.
In this goddamn show.
Yeah. We'll do something. We'll hang out.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Yeah, we'll still be in the Discord. If you're missing us, we'll still be in the Discord. We'll be talking our shit all day and everything. So you can still come hang out with
Remember
us.
what I said about
We're not like disappearing for a month.
When black people don't want to answer things, they just don't answer it.
My wife couldn't get over your guys' spice rack comments. I showed her that. She was like, that shit is so right. I showed her, you were like, Bonnie sounds like the person is like yells about somebody letting the air out. She was like, that's so you.
Who let all this goddamn out? Didn't I tell her to close that goddamn door?
100%. That's all I know, man. I grew up that way.
That's how it should be.
Solution. Spice rack. This piece of cake. Extra cabinet. We didn't lose the microwave. We gained a cabinet.
All right. Bingo. Turn these
I almost sent you guys a
lemonade,
picture of
damn
it. It was just really dirty, and I was like, I'm not doing that. They're gonna clown the shit out of me.
This is also what I was saying earlier.
Yep.
Falling on the stereotypes.
All of them.
Jaffe hit me the hardest. Like, apparently not. I don't have a spice rack microwave. I was like, damn. That hurt.
Good stuff. All right. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, play some video games.
One final time, guys.
Nobody's sleeping in the middle of the bed. The middle of the bed is only where you do the business. But when everybody's ready to sleep, it's the side of the bed that can't be beat. It's the middle of the bed where lovers meet. But when it comes time to slumber, it's the edges. Ooh, 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 the edges.